well in the playoffs. The Chargers want to take that next step. Winning the division is not enough.
Carney approaching the football. And this will be Johnson at about the 10. Trying to get wide. Excellent coverage, and that'll jack the crowd up one notch higher. Only a 5-yard return as Sean Van Horst gets downfield to make the stop for the Steelers. Or for the Chargers, I should say. Neil O'Donnell comes onto the field for the Steelers. We may not see O'Donnell for the entire game. Along the offensive front for Pittsburgh, 2 Pro Bowlers, Love and Dawson Duval. Love in his 10th year in the league. The former Ram goes to the Pro Bowl for the very first time. And the Steelers are playing without John L. Williams at fullback today. Yancey Thigpen got him started last week with a 40-yard touchdown catch against the Browns. When they go to 4 wide on 3rd and long, Charles Johnson and Andre Hastings both will come onto the field. They begin just outside their 15-yard line, and O'Donnell wants to throw on 1st down, and it is in and out of the hands of fullback Steve Avery. Getting a start today, we'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching Cleveland's 35-9 conquest of Seattle. You're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers playing with a handful of key players resting due to injury today, and that man, 43, Steve Avery, 1 carry all year, Todd Christensen. He starts at fullback for John L. Williams.
That really is a big issue, I think, where the Steelers are concerned, because John L. gives them so much in both blocking and passing from the fullback spot.
2nd down 10 for O'Donnell and the Steelers. To give to Avery, and his 2nd carry of the year will net a loss of a yard. Tremendous reaction from number 91 along the defensive front, Leslie O'Neal.
Reuben Davis really is the one that makes that play, Jim, in the middle.
San Diego front 7. Sean Lee has keyed the run-stop defense all year along with Davis in the middle. O'Neal heads to the Pro Bowl, as does, of course, perennial selection Junior Seau. In the secondary, Stanley Richard at free safety, 4 interceptions and a handful of big plays. He could have merited Pro Bowl consideration himself. When they go to the nickel defensive the 5th defensive back is Sean Van Horst, the man you saw making the tackle on the opening kickoff. 3rd down and 11 for the Steelers. O'Donnell out of the shotgun, throws complete to Yancey Thigpen along the far side, and Thigpen has enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down, which could quiet the crowd just a little bit.
Charles Johnson, the 1st-round pick of the Steelers, was the one that was supposed to come up with the big plays this year for the Steelers. But in his absence, Yancey Thigpen has been the big play man. Deep out route. Poor job at the secondary of the Chargers. 3rd and very long. Very soft zone. Thigpen able to take advantage of it. I don't think for a minute, Jim, that he doesn't appreciate this being a former Charger, waived by the Chargers. He wants to have a big day today here on the Murph.
And you saw his 34 catches for the year. He has told the offensive coaches, I want to get 6. On 1st down, it's Barry Foster. And Foster's 1st carry of the game gets a gain of a couple. It'll be near the 30-yard line, 2nd down 8.
Surprising that it took 4 plays to get the ball in the hands of Barry Foster. Don't forget, 2 years ago, this is a man that carried 390 times, 2nd most in NFL history behind the 404 of James Wilder. So they very much want to get the ball in the hands of Foster, despite the fact that he has the back problems.
He needs 177 yards to reach the 1,000-yard mark for the season. That's a long shot. But together, he and Bam Morris have keyed what is the #1 rushing attack in the league. On 2nd and 8. This time the fake to Foster. O'Donnell with nowhere to go throws to Foster in the flat. And number 28 reacting up from the cornerback position is Dwayne Harper to make the stop.
Great job of the secondary, forcing them to throw the ball out to Foster. Take a look at Leslie O'Neal coming from the top of your screen. Actually, that's a tight end blocking him, Jonathan Hayes, doing a pretty decent job until the last. Then Leslie O'Neal comes in, gets in O'Donnell's face, forces the pop-up throw, and once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers come up 3rd and long.
O'Neal and Mims, the Chargers bookend defensive ends, meeting at the quarterback there, and you see the numbers on Leslie. 1 1/2 sacks behind Kevin Green for the league lead coming in. 3rd down now, 9 yards to go. O'Donnell chased out. That was Mims. And the throw is past the sideline, incomplete. Thigpen was in the vicinity of the ball, but O'Donnell simply wanted to safeguard by getting it out of bounds.
Well, Chris Mims really doesn't get his due with Leslie O'Neal on the other side, but you see he just plain beats Leon Searcy. And look at the speed in which he almost runs down O'Donnell at the end. One of the difficulties of playing with the Chargers because of so many star players is sometimes you don't get your due.
It's Mark Royals to kick it away for the Steelers. And Darren Gordon watches it bounce out of bounds at the San Diego 37-yard line. 39-yard punt, no return. Cower Steelers will be on defense. No score in the football game when we come back. Jim Lampley with Todd Christensen in San Diego. It's an intense time of year, Todd, for the guys who feel the sand running through the hourglass. 15-year veteran offensive tackle of the San Diego Chargers, Stan Brock, talking yesterday about his desire for that Super Bowl ring.
Jim, it was amazing how poignant it was. He talks about how when he was with the Saints, Kenny Stabler came over and had it in his hands. He said all the players looked at it. It was so precious. What an opportunity. And the thing that I thought was very revealing is he said, Todd, he said, I would give up my salary. I would give up all these different things. He said, I just want that ring. It's so important.
Part of his job today to try to help the Chargers get Natron Means going again, the way he went in the first half of the season. And here's Means on first down trying the middle for a gain of about 2 or 3 before the Steelers wrap him up. Levon Kirkland was there along with a host of other Steelers. It'll be second down, 7 yards to go. Offensively for San Diego, Stan Brock, you see highlighted there, 15 years in the league. Isaac Davis, a rookie, gets the start at left guard ahead of Joe Kokozo today. Offensively, the pressure is on Means. He's had the 1,000-yard season, broken the Chargers' individual season rushing record, but hasn't performed in the second half of the season the way he did in the first. The throw on second down is to Mark Say for a short gain, short of the first down. Kirkland again there to help make the stop, but it'll be third down and about 4 for the Chargers. Defensively for Pittsburgh, Rod Woodson sits out today, as does Greg Lloyd. So on the front 7, we feature Chad Brown, who has been the leading tackler for the Steelers all year, although all 3 of his linebacking mates are better known around the league. Carnell Lake goes to the Pro Bowl this year after a brilliant year at strong safety. The third down try for the Steelers, in and out of the hands of Say, and that will bring up a punting situation. Check it, I mean, for the Chargers. Deion Figures was there on the coverage for Pittsburgh.
Poor job here by Say. This is a good throw right there, and for whatever reason, he reacts slowly. And you saw he extended himself, making it look like it was a tough throw. In reality, it was there, but Say is the one a little bit slow on the route.
Brian Wagner to kick it away. You saw Charles Johnson waiting deep for the Steelers. Johnson will take it at his 20-yard line. A flag down as Johnson tries to get outside and finally fights his way across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Eric Castle downfield to make the stop after the 42-yard punt and the 7-yard return.
On the stop, number 50, David Pitt. And then number 40,
we have the Dick Hantak crew here today.
Jim, if that's a pre-possession foul, that's going to be a first down for the Chargers. That's always the argument as to whether or not this occurred before, and obviously there's 12 men on the field. That occurred before.
Linebacker Dennis Gibson there to talk to Hantak.
The lead, kicking team had too many men on the field. Players leaving the field should not clear the sideline prior to the snap. 5 yards, first down.
Of course, what he meant there, Jim, is he meant the receiving team that had 12 players on the field. Costly mistake, and you can see the beleaguered look of Bill Cowher. A lot of that is because he's saying, look, even though this game doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot to us, we've got to be mentally into this, and early on, it's clear that the Steelers are not.
So a penalty get first down for San Diego sustains the first Charger possession of the game. Football spotted at the 43 as Humphries, according to Coach Bobby Ross, fully recovered from the elbow injury which has dogged him through much of the season, gives to Means. Means bowls forward for about 5 yards. We quickly go to New York to check in with Greg Gumbel. Greg.
All right, Jim, at the L.A. Coliseum, Joe Montana, didn't take him long, less than 2 minutes into the game. 47-yard touchdown play. Montana to Willie Davis. The winner of this game goes to the playoffs. The loser goes home. The Chiefs lead at 7-0 in the first, Jim.
And And we bring you back to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Natron Means, third carry of the game, and this time Means fights for a couple. Reserve linebacker number 92, Jason Gilden, getting the start in place of Greg Lloyd today, helped with the tackle.
One of the things here is that everybody feels like they can out-physical Pittsburgh because they do not have the big people up front, but what they do have is speed. They go sideline to sideline. You mentioned Jason Gilden, one of the real quick backers for them, even though he's replacing Greg Lloyd. 250-pounder, 4'5", 540, somebody who can go sideline to sideline and make those plays.
Now on 3rd down 4, Gilden goes to the sideline. They call it 3rd and 3. It's a long 3, and the throw is complete to Jefferson for a first down in front of Tim McKyer, who starts today at the left corner in place of Rod Woodson.
And clearly McKyer is not the player that Woodson is, but he makes the point. McKyer says, every place I've gone, teams have won. Former San Francisco 49er, they won there. He was with Miami, they won there, and now he's here with Pittsburgh. Number 24, McKyer, feels like he is a good luck charm.
Another first down for San Diego at the Steeler 45. Fake to Means. Humphries throws off the chest of Mark Say. Dion Figures was there to cover, but Say was wide open and appears to be having a concentration problem early.
No excuse, Jim. Mark Say, of course, the great human interest story with a bullet still lodged in his body as a result of a gangland shooting, but right there, right between the 8 and the 2, the play action set up perfectly. Say has no excuse.
Means 3 carries for 11 yards early. Humphries throwing the short pass with accuracy. They have not yet tried to go deep. 2nd down 10 at the 45. Again, it's Mark Say who's unable to come up with the football. Again, Dion Figures was on the coverage.
But the man that you highlighted earlier, Jim, Chad Brown, is the one that makes this play from the inside backer position. Watch from the left of your screen the speed that he comes in, makes Humphries throw off his back foot, and that forces him to throw the ball a little bit short. Number 94, outstanding season, 110 tackles, 7.5 sacks. He's the one they call Gumby because he's so athletic and so physical.
Tony Martin, the third wide out on the field on 3rd down 10, and Humphries gets it to Sean Jefferson. Jefferson stopped by Willie Williams at the 35. He's right there at the first down marker, and they're going to call it a first down.
Well, one of the things that has to happen here is that when you're missing Rod Woodson, certainly you're not going to do the exact same things in the secondary that you normally do. Look at the protection that Humphries has. Deep hook route by Jefferson, sits down right in front, able to make the reception.
This drive was sustained by a too many men on the field penalty that kept the Chargers alive after a punt. And now Humphries tries to capitalize. He's got it to number 81, Tony Martin, and Martin is inside the 15 to the 13-yard line before Figures is there to make the stop.
Tony Martin is the guy that's been the big play player for them all season long. Jim, earlier in the season, you and I were fortunate enough to be up in Seattle when he had that 99-yard record-tying catch. He's been averaging over 18 yards a catch for these Chargers. Last week, 2 huge plays, 2 big touchdown catches for them. He is the deep threat that they have been missing. Or he's the deep threat, rather, that has taken the place of Anthony Miller.
And you saw the sidearm delivery by Humphries. Obviously, he's throwing well at this stage. First down at the 14-yard line. They give it to Means. Means breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, breaks another, and gets perhaps a yard before Chad Brown is there to wrap things up.
Jim, that doesn't look like a tired running back, and of course that's the thing that they've been talking about is number 20 is fatigue because of his 300-plus carries. But take a look at the number of tackles that he breaks heading into the line. Right there, there's a collision. He's able to run through that. Darren Perry comes up, runs through him, and finally Chad Brown and Levon Kirkland come over to finish him off.
And now Means goes to the sideline as Ronnie Harmon comes onto the field on 2nd down 10. Give is to Harmon, and a flag is down.
False start. Offense, number 86, simulating the start of a snap. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Alpha Papuno trying to fool people in motion.
Please return the game clock to read 6 minutes and 43 seconds.
Eric Bieniemy is somebody who, when he came into the league, second-round pick out of Colorado, they really had high hopes for him, but he never really quite panned out. They ended up waiving and bringing him back as a free agent, the 5'7", 195-pounder, former 1,500-yard rusher with the Colorado Buffs.
Bieniemy and Harmon are both behind Humphries on what becomes second down 14. Humphries is going to fire it all the way into the stands. Tony Martin was the receiver, but that was an intentional throwaway.
Jim, Tony Martin wasn't the receiver at all. He just wanted to throw that away. And you saw his reaction after the throw. He threw his hands down. He had Martin wide open. I don't think that he anticipated he was going to get 6 seconds to throw. Watch after he gets rid of it. He realized he could have had Martin for a touchdown. He didn't realize no one was even close. Now watch his reaction. Oh, wait. Oh, he was open. Oh, nuts!
Third down 14. They've got to get the football to the 4-yard line for a first down. Humphries' throw is incomplete, intended to Martin at the goal line. Gary Jones there to cover for the Steelers. Jones, who made a critical interception against the Browns last week. One of the players who must come up big in the absence of Woodson today.
Jim, he did. He made a terrific catch at the goal line. This is a nice route and a good throw, but watch Jones get him out of there. Knows where he is, even if he comes up with the ball. He is wide.
And Humphries reflects his frustration as John Carney comes on to kick it out of Gail Gilbert's hold. David Benn comes on the snap as the Chargers try to take a 3-0 lead. This try from 37 yards. The Pro Bowl kicker does his job. So the Chargers have a 3-0 lead with 6:19 to go in the first period in the Murph. In Jack Murphy Stadium, an overcast day. There was rain at the beginning of the day, but none for the past 2 hours. Nevertheless, one of the league's most forgiving fields, even softer today. Charles Johnson in the middle of the goal line between Yancey Thigpen and Dwight Stone as John Carney kicks it off for the Chargers, now leading 3-0 with 6:19 to go in the first. From inside the 5, Johnson gets across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. 21-yard return. And downfield is number 24, Stanley Richard for the Chargers. We'll be back. And with the 37-yard field goal here, Carney's still spotless inside the 40 all year.
And Jim, he has a lot to be thankful for. With that, that's his 32nd field goal of the season. If he gets 3 more, he will tie the season record held by Ali Haji Sheik and tied last year by Jeff Jager of the Raiders. So that's a happy man. Also going to Hawaii, leading the league in scoring. And of course, Merry Christmas to him, huh?
Pretty doggone good year for the former Golden Domer. Steelers had 1 first down on their first possession. Now their second chance with the football from the 27-yard line. Neil O'Donnell gives to Barry Foster. And Foster has a gain of about 4 across the 30. Junior Seau, number 55, has his first tackle of the game.
Big problem here with Junior Seau is that left shoulder stinger that has been bothering him, and all the coaches talk about he just has to deal with the pain. I love that cliche about you got to know the difference between pain and injury. In the case of Junior, it's pain, so they say he can deal with it. And of course, he's the leading tackler for San Diego, everything, over 150 tackles, 5.5 sacks.
They credit Foster with 5 on first down, so it's 2nd and 5. Steve Avery, the fullback, in motion. O'Donnell's pass batted into the air and almost picked off by Seau. It would have been a spectacular pick.
Well, he's a tremendous athlete. Don't forget that when he was at SC his last year there, he was the man that had 19 sacks and 34 hurries. He can do this. He can cover. There's nothing he can't do on the football field. Take a look at the vertical jump there. Almost comes up with the ball. Actually, that's a good play by Foster at the end to get in his face and play defense.
Misses Junior Seau. And a little Seau, as you can see there. Rejoicing over that big play. Brings up 3rd down 5 for the Steelers. They're 1 for 2 in 3rd down conversions. O'Donnell's throw is caught. And for first down yardage by number 88, Andre Hastings. Let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York.
Jim, at Cincinnati, kicker Doug Pelfrey tied the game with a field goal with 3 seconds to go. Then, after recovering the onside kick, the Bengals gave Pelfrey a 54-yard shot. He won it as time expired. The Eagles 7-2 at one point this season, finished 7-9. The Bengals win it 33-30, Jim.
Greg. So what do you think? Does that save David Shula's job?
Yes.
Okay.
I think David Shula gets to coach in Cincinnati another year, and Richie Kotite will be elsewhere. O'Donnell's throw on first down intended for Mills again, this time incomplete. Darren Gordon was there on the coverage for the Chargers.
It's my opinion that Darren Gordon is somebody that should have been in the Pro Bowl. Number 21. Take a look at the job he does in the corner. Backpedaling, looking in the backfield. What you have to do as a receiver, you've got to get him out of his backpedal. He's never out of his backpedal, and as a result, he's able to close on Mills. And his beef right there is he says he was all over him, but hey, Neal should have thrown the ball better.
O'Donnell had what his teammates said was a flawless game last week against Cleveland. Wants to maintain that level going into the playoffs. 3 for 7 for 20 yards. On 2nd and 10, Foster is wrapped up, and Seau helps to lead the charge.
Well, Junior Seau is at his best when he is emotional. Watch number 55, the far right of your screen. Nobody touches him. Look how quickly he comes underneath to get to Foster. He reminds me a lot of the steel curtain era, the way Jack Lambert used to play. The front four would take care of those people. Look at the job the front four does for Junior Seau to make the lion's share of the tackles. What a discrepancy. 150 tackles, the next guy only 88. That's the job of number 55 to make the stops.
So now O'Donnell again on 3rd and long. He has twice converted with accurate passes underneath the Charger defense. Looking deep down the middle of the field, and nobody open. It was intended for number 81, Charles Johnson.
Great coverage on the part of the Chargers. Darren Carrington coming up on Johnson. O'Donnell plenty of time, but couldn't find anybody. Charles Johnson is the man they were looking to with a big play. That's why they drafted him in the first round. But this year, it just hasn't been happening for him. Ball's behind him. Bad throw by O'Donnell.
Mark Royals to kick it away for the Steelers. AFC punt return leader Darren Gordon waits inside his 20 at the 18-yard line.
He's going to get a chance here, Jim.
High kick, but Gordon nevertheless with a return across the 25 to the 26-yard line. McAfee there to help with the tackle for the Steelers. 44-yard punt, 10-yard return. Chargers lead 3-0. 3:52 in the first. Coach Bill Cowher getting some presents from Tim Allen in this Christmas season.
I was thinking maybe he wanted one of those sprays that makes it thicker. You know, Bill Cowher maybe wanted one of those sprays.
You said it, I didn't. He's got enough. And what he doesn't have on his head, Todd, he has on his lip.
Well, I tell you what, this guy right here has just done an outstanding job of the Pittsburgh Steelers. To a man, every single player we talk to has just the utmost respect for this guy. He looks you in the eye and tells you what he's thinking. Nothing covert about Bill Cowher.
Chargers lead 3-0. They begin this possession from the 26-yard line. Humphries on first down gets rid of it, though in the grasp of number 91, Kevin Green, who was gunning for that 15th sack.
Well, what this is a play where you go misdirection. You don't actually block this guy, but take a look. Kevin Green isn't fooled at all. Papunu's supposed to do that, go out in the flat relatively untouched, and Humphries does a good job of getting rid of it. Otherwise, Green would have added to his league-leading sack total.
And you see the nice piece of sportsmanship by Kevin Green there. He's a player, a guy who respects other players enormously. On 2nd down 10, Humphries throws in the flat. And it's complete to number 81, Tony Martin. Tim McKyer there on the coverage, but Martin, who has been in the game constantly ever since the second drop by Mark Say, makes the grab.
Well, of course, Tony Martin is their big play receiver, and I don't know if it's going to be a conscious effort to go to that side, but frankly, Tim McKyer is not the starter. Rod Woodson is out, and any time you have an opportunity to take advantage of somebody who's the backup to Rod Woodson, you want to do it.
Martin, 2 catches for 26 yards on the day. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Football at the 31-yard line. Humphries to Bieniemy, and Bieniemy reaching for the first down marker is stopped by Ed Robinson, reserve inside linebacker for the Steelers.
And I tell you what, that was a great tackle, Jim, if for no other reason. Take a look at the low center of gravity, 5'7", 195 pounds. A real lifter is Bieniemy. You'd think here that his momentum would take him over, but no. Robinson hits him square in the chest, keeps him just a little bit short of the first down. It'll be an interesting decision here by the Chargers.
Well, the enemy extended out to the 37, but they spotted it back inside the 36.
Well, I think it was a good spot just because his knees were down, and running backs always want to cheat for that extra yard.
It's hard for Bieniemy to cheat for a yard. A yard is more than half his height, Todd. And you see there, he's a foot short of the first down. There's Rocket Rod Woodson waiting on the sideline with Bill Cowher. He'll play again the second week of the playoffs.
Interesting here, the decision. San Diego, of course, the game of such great magnitude for them. They're going to punt. I would think if this was reversed, Jim, interesting down the line to see if Pittsburgh in a similar situation doesn't go for it.
So a foot short of the first down. Brian Wagner comes on. Charles Johnson is deep to receive for the Steelers at the 21-yard line. Wagner's 33rd punt of the year. Bounces in front of Johnson, and now he decides to take it. Gets away from a couple of men and might have had some room if he could have gotten past one more man to the sideline. 44-yard punt by Wagner. 6-yard return by Johnson. Steelers will have the football at their 27-yard line, trailing 3-0. 2:35 to go in the first period. And we remind you, tomorrow join NBC Sports for exciting NBA doubleheader with NBA Showtime tipping things off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the first rematch since one of the great upsets in NBA playoff history. You'll remember that last year, Seattle had the best record in the NBA in the regular season, but were knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the young Denver Nuggets. In Game 2, it's the renewal of one of the sport's keenest rivalries as Ewing and the Knicks go against Pippen and the Bulls. That's Seattle-Denver, followed by New York-Chicago. Tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, NBA Showtime starts it off.
And for the Denver Nuggets, take a look at a budding star by the name of Rodney Rogers.
And take a look at Barry Foster here, rambling for 15 yards across the 40 to the 44-yard line.
Well, clearly this is what the Pittsburgh Steelers do well. Their interior, as you mentioned at the top of the show, Jim, 2 Pro Bowlers in Jermani Dawson and Duval Love. And take a look and see if there's a body on number 55. There it is. Duval Love comes up, gets a piece of Junior Seau. He's in pursuit and gets in on the tackle, but much too late. Take a look. He breaks the tackle of O'Neal, and as we say, sure you can get tackled, but if you get him that far downfield, who cares?
Seau and Carrington finally made the stop. There, the numbers on Foster for the day. Foster again, fighting for a couple across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Offensive coordinator Ron Earhart of the Steelers.
Interesting, yesterday when we were having conversation with him, Jim, he mentioned the fact that he thought that today they'd throw the ball more, try to break in maybe some things that they haven't done throughout the year, but he also said they're not going to reveal any secrets.
Yeah, everything they do today offensively will be something that is already on film somewhere from an earlier game. There will be nothing in the way of a brand new wrinkle. Second down, 7. Football at the 47-yard line. Foster, maybe a yard.
Foster, the ball carrier. The tackle by Leslie
O'Neal on the tackle for the Chargers.
Big criticism of Leslie O'Neal has always been, can he play the run? He's only 265. Well, boy, he puts the shot on Avery and then puts the shot on Foster. Anybody that doesn't think Leslie O'Neal can't play the run, play that one back.
12.5 sacks, pretty good year against the run. Does he merit consideration for AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Todd?
If he had a few more sacks, I might say so.
Third down, 6 for O'Donnell and the Steelers. And O'Donnell gets it away as he goes down. Dwight Stone is going to be dropped well short of the first down. It was Chris Mims who was in there to tackle O'Donnell.
And Chris Mims is really causing a lot of problems for Leon Searcy. Watch to the right of your screen, number 72. Chris Sims with a 360 move, then busts off of Justin Strelczyk, goes through 2 people to throw O'Donnell to the turf. Dwight Stone makes a nice catch and able to salvage something from the play. But Chris Mims, number 94 of the Chargers, really wreaking some havoc.
Darren Gordon's at his 10-yard line. And Mark Royals is deep to punt, but the clock runs out on the first period. So they'll change ends as Bobby Ross's Chargers protect a 3-0 lead after 1 in a game they absolutely must win. An aerial look at what San Diegans called the Murph. No empty seats today as the Chargers try to launch themselves into the playoffs on a positive note against the team that has already wrapped up home field advantage all the way through in the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers. As we bring you back, the second period begins. Steelers at the 48-yard line with 4th down 6, and Mark Royals to punt it away to Darren Gordon of the Chargers. Gordon will watch this one. It is short, out of bounds, well upfield, between the 20 and 30.
And look at this, Mark Royals with the official. Oh, come on. Doggone it, he says. That's such an inexact science trying to judge where it went out of bounds from there. And you see the punters all the time begging for that. Mark Royals leading the NFL and inside the 20, punts with 35. Begging for that extra yardage. Please, you're messing with my stats.
Only a 27-yard punt. Here's Gordon. And you saw Dwight Stone downfield on the coverage. None of those players aware that the punt was landing behind them. So it's first down from the 25-yard line for Humphries and the Chargers. Natron Means is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Jason Gilden, a rapidly rising rookie linebacker out of Oklahoma State.
Well, so many people have talked about this great Steeler defense, and take a look at the profile here. I mean, sometimes they say statistics lie, not here. Opposing yards per game, opposing pass yards per game, opposing points per game, sacks, give and take ratio. In addition to the give and take ratio, they've only had turnovers in 17, leading the league in that particular category. 20 years apart, here's the comparison to the Steel Curtain. Interesting, later on we'll give you a chance to look at some of the nicknames for this new Steeler defense.
Second and long for Means and the Chargers, and Natron Means bounces like a rubber ball from tackler to tackler on the way to a gain of 8 before Carnell Lake finally makes the stop.
Well, the thing that's impressive here is at 5'10", 243 pounds, you don't guess that this is a man that has those kinds of feet. You feel that he's just kind of a battering ram, but in reality he gets into the secondary and he can fool some people.
Means comes off, the enemy comes on as the Chargers get ready for 3rd down 3. San Diego 1 of 4 on 3rd downs to this point.
Guys, back it up. He's in the neutral zone.
The give is to the enemy, and again, the enemy is going to be short of the chain. Brenson Buckner, number 96, got upfield quickly from his defensive end position for Pittsburgh.
Well, the thing there is that he ran up the back of his guard, Joe Malinchik. This is bad vision on the part of Eric Bieniemy just to find a gap. Take a look. Watch, he's just going to run right up the back of his guard, and there isn't a hole there, but there. Look if he just cuts back, and look at the job by Isaac Davis. If he cuts back behind Malinchik, he has the first down easily.
So it's Wagner who kicks it away, and Charles Johnson will take it at his 20-yard line. No flags as Johnson dances forward for about 6 to the 26. Stanley Richard downfield to make the stop for the Chargers. 46-yard punt, 6-yard return. We'll be back. Back at the Murph, 12:57 to go before halftime, and Neil O'Donnell goes to the sideline early for the Steelers.
Well, you know what, Jim? It's not as if they've got a stiffen Mike Tomczak. Earlier in the season when Neil O'Donnell was hurt, the man came in and had back-to-back victories against two very good teams, the Dolphins and the Raiders. In fact, he had career numbers against the Dolphins when he threw for 350 yards.
Also into the game, backup running back Van Morris, and Morris taking Barry Foster's place, as he has done so capably throughout the season, has a good gain on first down before David Griggs makes the stop.
I don't understand how this guy lasted until the 3rd round. Everybody talking, I mean, they get possessed with some of the most incongruous things. I mean, what the heck? The guy runs a 4.740. Come on. You know, so what? The guy ran for over 1,500 yards at Texas Tech, and he's done an outstanding job of spelling Barry Foster through the season. There's no way he should have lasted until the 3rd round.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard gain. You saw Foster on the sideline, as is O'Donnell. Tomczak's first throw complete to Ernie Mills, and Mills loose down the middle into Georgia territory to the 40-yard line before Stanley Richard, the sheriff, finally drags him down.
Everybody talks about how with the quarterback, the big play, the big throw that reveals whether or not you can play is the deep out. I feel it's the deep in because you have to throw over so many different people. Look at all the blue shirts this ball gets passed right into the waiting arms of Mills. Mills is the one that gets the reception and makes the run, but Tomczak's the one that really made that throw. 26-yard completion.
And the first down at the 40-yard line of San Diego. Tomczak gives to Bam Morris, and with some nice footwork, Morris has a gain of 5 down to the 35.
Well, at 6 feet tall and just a little bit under 240 pounds, Bam Morris is, as they say, a load.
Pickup of 5 yards.
Watch number 91 on the bottom of your screen, Leslie O'Neal. Not a part of it that time. You have to say that John Jackson won that battle.
And you saw Seo coming through with the run blitz, and Van Morris neatly sidestepped it. So it's 2nd down 5. Mike Tomczak at the helm for the Steelers. Van Morris again. And Morris finds one block and a couple of yards before David Griggs makes the stop for San Diego.
Brought down by number 92, David Griggs.
David Griggs and Dennis Gibson have not really gotten their due in terms of their contributions to the San Diego defense. We've documented for you earlier all the tackles that Junior Seau made, but that's because these other people are playing their positions so well. Griggs, of course, a former Dolphin, and that man Dennis Gibson, outstanding with the Detroit Lions, have really come in and made major contributions to the defense, as Bill Arnsparger told us yesterday.
Now the first 3rd down challenge for Tomczak. Steelers were 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions with O'Donnell in the game. Tomczak's throw is caught by Dwight Stone, and the veteran, 8th-year veteran, has 1st down yardage, but there's a flag down.
Great athletic move by Tomczak to move out of the way of the sack and deliver the ball to Stone. At the end of the play, it looked like Junior Seau might have been a little bit late on the hit of Stone.
Referee Dick Hantak.
Personal foul. Defense, number 55. Late hit. Penalty, half the distance to the goal line. 1st down.
But Junior doesn't agree, as you can see as he waves his arm. Take a look from the right of your screen. Number 55 is going to come in, and it's helmet first. That's what they see. It's not necessarily the violence of the collision, but it was face-to-face. The official right on top of it. I think basically what the situation is here, Jim, the NFL has had its quota of concussions, and they want to protect the heads of the players.
So credit Tomczak with the 3rd down conversion. The penalty moves the football down to the 14-yard line. Steelers threatening to take the lead. Tomczak throws out of the end zone, intended for Yancey Thigpen. Wendell Harper was there to cover for the Chargers.
And that just shows the confidence that they have in Mike Tomczak. You come down here, get inside the 15, you figure, we'll hand it off to Bam Morris. We're a running team. But what do they do on 1st down? They go at the corner, they go for all of it. Tomczak overthrows just a little bit. They really don't lose much when they go to Tomczak, do they, Jim?
Another look at Ron Earhart, who throughout his career with the Patriots, the Giants, the Steelers, has effectively mixed power running with the deep pass. 2nd down 10. Here's Morris. Plenty of blocking in front, and an excellent play in the open field by number 24, Stanley Richard.
One of the things here is that they came with an inside backer blitz. Watch the left of your screen. You're going to see all the blue shirts come in. They have the right call. If Stanley Richard doesn't make the play here, he cuts inside of the block of Thigpen and might go the distance. Instead, the man they nicknamed the Sheriff comes in and makes an arrest.
4th-year veteran out of Texas, number 1 draft choice in 1991. As we mentioned, could have merited Pro Bowl consideration this year. 3rd down 8. Tomczak rolls away from pressure, throws down the middle for Thigpen, and Thigpen was open but couldn't find the ball.
Tomczak got just a little bit of the happy feet there when Junior Seau came on the inside backer blitz. Even though Seau got picked up, Tomczak felt him. Watch the left, here comes Seau, and then Mims right at the end, gets a piece of him. You notice how the right arm came forward, couldn't quite follow through like he wanted to.
So now Gary Anderson comes on to try to tie the football game for Pittsburgh. From 29 yards, the kick is up and good. Anderson's 23rd field goal of the year, and the Steelers, with Tomczak's first possession, have tied San Diego at 3 apiece. Mike Tomczak's first possession as quarterback for the Steelers today produced a 9-play, 63-yard drive, 28-yard field goal for Anderson. It's 3-3. Anderson kicks it away to Andre Coleman. Coleman across the 25, across the 30, and a lot of room. Foot race. Coleman's gonna win it.
No flags, Jim.
Touchdown, San Diego. A 90-yard kickoff return for Andre Coleman.
Chargers are used to big plays from number 83, but look at the job by the special teams. Seal people to the inside, and right there it's a foot race. Neither Darren Perry nor Gary Anderson or Myron Bell have a chance. Andre Coleman, second in the AFC in kickoff returns, goes the distance. An absolutely huge play for the Chargers.
Bell was the last man with a shot. He got outrun. Carney comes on and adds the extra point. And the Chargers go back on top. 10-3 with 8:53 to go before halftime as the Steelers discuss kickoff coverage.
Andre Coleman with a big return to set them up. We'll give you a chance to take a look at some of the blocks later on, but the special teams for the Chargers came through in a big way. Don't forget Darren Gordon, leading the NFL in punt returns, also has run back too.
And as Carney kicks it off for San Diego, Charles Johnson waits deep for Pittsburgh, hoping to return the favor. He gets it at his 10-yard line, but Johnson is met and dropped at the 28. Rodney Culver downfield to make the stop.
Take a look at the job by the wedge, and look at Ronnie Harmon's block right there in the wedge. He's the one that is able to contain Gary Jones, and once Coleman gets to the outside, it is a foot race. Outstanding job by the wedge blockers of San Diego, Steve Hendrickson, Vaughn Parker, and John Perella.
And number 37, Rodney Harrison, had one too. Cower talking to special teams coach Bobby April, who was brought in this year to prevent just such a circumstance.
Well, those people that remember the playoff game last year, Pittsburgh against Kansas City, a block punt prevented them from going farther into the playoffs. John Guy was fired. You're absolutely right. That's the reason April was here, to prevent those sorts of plays.
Van Morris on first down for the Steelers. Gets outside and bulls forward for a gain of about 7. Number 29, Darren Carrington, is there to make the stop. It'll be second down and 3 for Pittsburgh.
Darren Carrington with a smile on his face, but that can't be very much fun when this guy gets his momentum into the secondary.
Van Morris, 5 carries, 22 yards so far since entering the game in place of Barry Foster. This time, give him credit for 8 and make it second down 2.
One thing that's very important to these Pittsburgh Steelers, Jim, is that they lead the NFL in rushing at over 136 yards per game. They very much want that title. They want to be the top rushing team in the league.
Morris to the left, good running room in front, across the 50 into San Diego territory to the 46-yard line before Carrington again is there to make the stop.
And with that kind of blocking at the point of attack, they certainly are going to get that rushing crown. Watch to the right of your screen. Avery with the good block on O'Neal comes and can't make the play. Look at Duval Love out on Dwayne Harper. That is an absolute mismatch. And once again, Carrington has to make the tackle a long way downfield. Take a look at Duval Love. Boy, that's not very much fun. Here's Harper waiting on 275, 280 pounds, and he's at about 190.
So after the long gain by Morris, now Tomczak looks down the middle of the field and has it complete to number 89, Ernie Mills. Mills is brought down by Carrington again, but another first down for Pittsburgh, this time to the 31.
There certainly is no quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh, but when you see Tomczak sit in the pocket and make these kind of throws, you have to wonder yourself, maybe this guy can do some things for the ball club. Every time he comes in, he seems to spark them, Jim.
Well, you say no quarterback controversy, and certainly that's true in the minds of Bill Cowher and the other Steelers coaches, but there were fans in Three Rivers who chanted Tomczak, Tomczak, Tomczak when O'Donnell returned to the starting lineup. Van Morris on first down, and this time Morris is met and dropped near the line of scrimmage by Carrington and Sayah. Sean Lee also there. And Carrington from strong safety coming up hard to force against the run that time.
There you see Duval Love. Great story with regards to Duval Love and Dermonte Dawson. They were in bed together, excuse me, not in bed together, but roommates in the hotel room. Dawson woke up and he said, guess what? I had a dream. I had a dream that both of us are going to Hawaii. Duval Love says, nah, go back to sleep. It's not going to happen. Well, guess what? Dreams do come true.
Screen, dangerous, caught by Morris. And Bam has a gain of about 5, but more importantly, he's got the football, and it was certainly possible that the Chargers could have grabbed that one. Stanley Richard made the stop.
Nice catch by Bam Morris, you're right, but floated just a little bit, makes the one-hand catch. It looked like Seo was going to make the play, but he was a little bit behind, and Morris makes something out of what should have been nothing.
Dennis Gibson there with Stanley Richard at the end. There's the one-hand catch in a crowd for Morris. Andre Coleman's touchdown kickoff return, the second of the season for the Chargers, first time in team history. They've had 2 touchdown kickoff returns in the same season. 3rd down 4 for Tom Zach and the Steel City boys. Out of the pocket, he's going to have the first down across the 20 down to the 13-yard line. Yancey Thigpen with the big block out in front.
One of the things that I like about Mike Tomczak is being a free agent out of Ohio State. You sit there and chat with him. He feels like he's got nothing to lose, and he is just having a lot of fun. The protection is absolutely outstanding. Look at John Jackson. Get a little help from Dwight Stone, but he is able to push O'Neal out of the way. And look at the foot speed of Tomczak. Do you notice at the end, does he slide? Does he avoid anybody? No. He goes with the stiff arm, takes the collisions. Hey, no problem. I'm having some fun out here.
So it's first down at the 12-yard line now. You see the numbers on Tomczak, who has been effective since entering the football game. Bam Morris. The stiff arm gains him a couple of yards. Stanley Richard is there along with Darren Carrington to help force Morris out of bounds.
And the one thing that this drive has done, whether it culminates in a touchdown or not, Jim, is it's certainly taken the crowd out. The crowd was just absolutely raucous after the big kickoff return, and you're thinking that maybe the Steelers are going to be stunned. Instead, they've driven consistently down the field.
In our aerial shots, you've seen how dark and overcast the skies are over Jack Murphy Stadium. Now the sun's starting to break through just a little bit. Double tight ends for the Steelers. Jonathan Hayes and Craig Keith both on the field, and now timeout is called by the Steelers. 4:13 still to go in the half. Chargers lead 10-3 on the strength of the 90-yard Andre Coleman kickoff return. All right, listen up, Todd. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 has teamed up with NBC Sports to provide you with a bird's eye view of Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. The Blimp is equipped with a state-of-the-art camera that provides a unique perspective of the action 1,200 feet below. It's exactly 1,200 feet right there. And here are some of the people who are in the stadium. So I guess that what you're telling me is Dermontti Dawson and Duval Love are roommates on the road.
That's correct. That is correct. That didn't quite come out right, did it?
You think they'll room together at the Pro Bowl in Honolulu as well?
No, I'm sure that they get to take their families with them.
Well, I didn't ask that. Do you think they'll room together anyway?
No, they're not going to room together. And maybe not ever again after hearing what I said off the air.
Kind of brings a whole new meaning to the term king size. 2nd down 8 from the 10-yard line. Mills in motion. Tomczak rolls the other way. He's dragged down on a terrific play by Chris Mims, who's having a big game.
And Dick Hantak is going to call it a sack. Looked like at the end that he might go with intentional grounding, but instead he gives credit to Mims for his 10th sack of the season. Once again, the misdirection did not fool Chris Mims. That's a staple of the offense of Pittsburgh. Watch the misdirection, thinking that everybody's going one direction. Watch number 94 is not fooled. And look at the feet there at the end. He is not fooled by the move of Tomczak with the fake. Comes up with his 10th sack of the season. Take a look and see whether or not his legs were down.
I don't see Leon Searcy anywhere around. Somebody's got to have the assignment of blocking Chris Mims today.
Pittsburgh, their second charge timeout.
Another timeout for the Steelers. Pittsburgh 4 for 8 on 3rd downs as Tomczak and Coward discuss 3rd down, 21 to go with the football at the 23-yard line. And you take a look at 23-year-old third-year player Chris Mims out of Tennessee, number 1 draft pick of the Chargers in 1992.
Interesting, too, with regards to Mims, when he was a rookie, they made him play some defensive tackle and gain some weight, and he says, I wasn't comfortable that big. I said, who are you kidding? Look how big he is now.
Going with the 2 earring look, so widely popular around the league these days. Coming up, it's the NFL Halftime Report with Greg Gumbel and Joe Gibbs. They'll bring you up to date with all the scores and highlights from around the league. That's coming up at the half. They'll unravel the playoff picture for us, too. Let you know how the dominoes fall in the wake of some of the big results earlier today. Green Bay's win, New England's victory over the Chicago Bears, 7th consecutive win for Parcells and the Bledsoe Pats.
O'Donnell warming up. If you notice at the end of the last replay, Mims fell on the left leg of Tomczak. So if that becomes a problem and tightens up, we might see O'Donnell back in the game.
So here are the Steelers with 3rd down 21 from the 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the field. Charles Johnson in motion. Bam Morris with the football. And Morris is going to get some yardage down to about the 12. A second effort run with a gain of 11 yards, and it'll set up a likely field goal situation for the Steelers.
Well, I tell you what, he just ran right over the top of Stanley Richard there at the end of the run. Richard stuck his neck in there, and it just came back. Bam Morris. You love that as a running back when you go with those drop plays on 3rd and about 30, because you know you can pad your stats a little bit. But man, what a collision he had in the secondary with 24 Richard.
Bam Morris has had a big game already just here in the first half. In the second quarter, Anderson's field goal try is good.
Field goal of 29
And so the
yards.
Steelers
Good.
get back 3 of the 7 points they lost when Andre Coleman took the kickoff 90 yards after Anderson's preceding field goal. 3:07 to go in the half, 10-6, San Diego Chargers.
And Bill Cowher has to be very happy because initially they were very sloppy, making mental mistakes, going 3 and out. And now two consecutive drives where they've gone practically the length of the field, even though they've come up short with field goals. He's got to be happy not only with the way the team is playing, but with the calls that Ron Earhart is doing as the offensive coordinator.
10 plays, 61 yards on the drive. They kept the football for 5 minutes, 37 seconds. It is 10-6 now as Bobby Ross's team leads by 4 in a game they need to win to give themselves a bye week and a possible home playoff game.
Bill Cowher talks about the fact that they haven't done anything yet. Everybody's so excited and comparing them to the Steel Curtain, but he had this to say with regards to the fact that, look, we just haven't been that effective just yet. We haven't accomplished anything.
You're referring to teams that have accomplished something, and we really haven't accomplished anything yet. You know, we've created an opportunity for ourselves, but in terms of accomplishments, those are things you talk about in February, not in the middle of December.
Yeah, but here's the positive omen. It's the 4th time in Steeler history that they've won 12 games. The other 3 times, they won the Super Bowl as well.
And the other thing with regards to Bill Cowher, his first 3 years in the National Football League, all 3 times they have been in the playoffs. 2 of those 3 years have been division winners, just like his counterpart here today, Bobby Ross.
There's Andre Coleman waiting at the 5-yard line. 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown on his last opportunity. You saw Bam Morris talking to trainers on the sideline, and we'll track that story for the Steelers. Coleman hesitating, and that'll bring the average down just a little bit. Myron Bell says, this time, I got you, Andre. I'm not going to chase your number from behind like I did last time.
Well, Bobby April's got to be a lot happier about that. And how many times have you seen when a guy goes the distance with the kick, they chicken out and kick it short, or they kick it squib? Bobby April has a lot more pride in his players than that. He kicks it deep. Steelers did an outstanding job. How many times now with the new rule, Jim, do you see a guy get stuffed inside the 20 on a kickoff return? Almost never. Great job by the coverage people.
The 9-yard return drops Coleman's average for the day to 49.5. First down 10, Stan Humphries and the Chargers. Natron Means with the call, and Means has a gain of 3 out to the 20-yard line. Ray Seals makes the stop for Pittsburgh. 7 carries, 20 yards for Natron Means in a relatively slow first half. And Morris says, well, I'll spit this out and I'll feel better.
Well, I don't think he's a rookie, so he's not going to get the luxury of sitting out unless he is really, really hurt.
On 2nd down 7, Humphries has Sean Jefferson open, overthrows him, and it's almost picked off by number 37, Carnell Lake.
One thing that's impressive about the secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers, besides the obvious in terms of how they hit and cover, is their ability to catch the ball. You mentioned Gary Jones last week with a great catch. Look how close he comes to coming up with this ball. How many times, Jim, you and I have watched numerous games this year. It seems like every week there's a ball that hits a defensive back on the chest and gets dropped, and ooh, he could have had that one. It happens every week. The Steelers, when they have their opportunities, they make the catches.
6 of 13, 48 yards for Humphries. On third down 7, they try to screen to Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon winds up in a wrestling match over there with the ultra-intense number 94, Chad Brown. And now Brown wants to laugh about it a little bit.
Well, they came with a corner blitz, and that confused him a little bit. Dion figures in the middle, made Humphries throw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Here's Charles Johnson. And the Steelers figure to get good field position out of this as he waits at his 41-yard line. There are the numbers on Wagner, who's at his 5. And deep. Flags down as Johnson waits at the 37. A lot of charges are there to drag Johnson down after a return of about 6 yards. 43-yard punt, call it a 7-yard return, and now hand tack.
Once again with the 12 men on the field, and Bobby April can't be very happy about that. What's going on? He said he knows it's not Canadian League rules. He knows there's only supposed to be 11.
Bill Cowher saying, no, it was last year when we decided to change the special teams coach.
Delay. 12 men on the field for the receiving team. Penalty is declined. First down. This is the 2-minute warning.
10-6. San Diego will be back with more action after these messages from the NFL.
Remember Mike Tomczak on the sack by Mims. Take a look at his left knee right here at the end. Watch as it folds underneath about 290 pounds. Right there. See that left knee? Mims falls on top of that. That looks like that could possibly be a strained medial collateral, but I'm not going to guess. Suffice it to say, he is now out of the game, and Neil O'Donnell is back in now at quarterback for the Steelers, Jim.
So O'Donnell, who might have figured to get the rest of the day off, now appears headed for a fuller workday. And should O'Donnell come a cropper here, the emergency quarterback for the Steelers is Jim Miller, a rookie out of Michigan State. We haven't seen an emergency quarterback situation this year, Todd, but could arise here. Miller's a strong arm.
Well, and that's the last thing you'd want, though, heading into the playoffs, is 2 people that were injured.
O'Donnell and the Steelers will go with 4 wideouts on first down 10 from the 44, trailing 10-6. And O'Donnell's first throw back into the game is an accurate one. Willie Clark on the coverage for San Diego. Andre Hastings made the catch for the Steelers. It's a first down in Charger territory at the 41.
He looks left and comes back right. Good job by O'Donnell getting the safety away from Hastings. Good completion.
Another good throw, again to Hastings. Hastings is out of bounds near the marker after a gain of about 10. Willie Clark, again there on the coverage for San Diego.
Chargers might want to think about coming with some blitzes and getting out of that soft zone. It reminds me of what they always say about the prevent defense. It prevents nothing. Steelers just marching down at will.
Well, a 9-yard gain. It is second down and a yard to go. The football at the San Diego 32. Right zone.
Wow.
It's away from one man and then is dropped by Saya.
What a shake and bake he put on Sean Van Horst. Even though he didn't get big yardage, boy, he fooled him. Watch as he comes here. Dwight Stone, the fastest player, along with Rod Woodson on the team. Shake, shake, shake. Inside I go. Hi, Van Horst. Sayo has to bring him down.
It was a first down. O'Donnell's throw on first down is complete to Hastings, and Hastings is inside the 20 to the 19. Willie Clark makes the stop for the Chargers.
Timeout, Pittsburgh. Their third and final
timeout. Now the Steelers
timeout.
use their last time out of the half to stop the clock with 1:08 remaining.
The Chargers have
The Steelers have dominated ball possession here, but trail by 4.
Bill Arnsparger can't be very happy about what he saw here in these last couple of plays. I mean, the Steelers just went downfield like the defense was a sieve. The Chargers are going to have to think about changing up here now inside the 20. Can't go with the same sort of set because O'Donnell's picking them apart.
O'Donnell, since returning from the bench, 3 of 3 for 34 yards.
Bill Arnsparger, the second oldest coach in the National Football League, just turned 68. Said he has to reconsider his options after this season, but I think he's done an outstanding job as a defensive coordinator of the San Diego Chargers since he's arrived here, Jim.
Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Gumbel and Gibbs coming up. Mike Tomczak leaves the field and goes to the dressing room early for the Steelers. First and 10 for Bill Cowher's division champion Pittsburgh Steelers. O'Donnell away from pressure, lots of room, but he throws for the touchdown and gets it. Terrific catch by Charles Johnson, the rookie out of Colorado.
Once again, the secondary just does an absolutely atrocious job. They rush 4 and they drop 7, and basically the idea of dropping 7 was so you'd have some people in the end zone. Take a look, and this isn't man-for-man coverage. There's supposed to be blue shirts all over the place. Now he breaks out. There's just no way Johnson should be that wide open. Take a look at the feet.
Almost overthrew it.
The left foot's down, the right foot isn't. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
And you saw Carrington there, and you saw the official watch closely.
Look at the right foot. No, the right foot. The toe did get down.
Maybe, yeah.
You hear the boos of the crowd, but it appeared from that angle that it looked like the right toe might have been in the grass.
And Cowher and company elect to go for 1. Anderson adds the PAT, and the Steelers take a field goal lead at 13-10 with exactly 1 minute to go in the half. What a big play by the rookie from Colorado, Charles Johnson. Only his second touchdown of the year, and a play on which O'Donnell, with room and time, almost threw the football away too high.
The right foot is the key. Watch the right foot. The left, you know, is down. Watch the right toe. Where does it hit? Right there it hits.
Got it.
You got
Nailed it.
Great job by Johnson and good call by the official right on top of the feet.
So a 56-yard, 5-play drive for the Steelers, engineered by Neil O'Donnell, who came back off the bench as the result of the injury to backup quarterback Mike Tomczak. And O'Donnell, who had been average in his earlier performance, was terrific there.
And Jim, this does not bode well for the psyche of Bobby Ross and the Chargers, not simply because of the fact that they're behind by a field goal heading into halftime, but Pittsburgh is out here with a lot of people hurt, basically playing for pride. As you mentioned at the outset of the telecast, this is a big deal here for the Chargers, and now they're going to have to regroup.
Andre Coleman waits at the goal line. He produced the only Charger touchdown. Charger offense has been largely impotent in the first half, and now they find themselves trailing Gary Anderson's Steeler team, playing without Rod Woodson, without Eric Green, without Greg Lloyd, without John L. Williams. Anderson's kick is short. Coleman will take it at the 14-yard line. And he's hammered by Jason Gilden, number 92, and Coleman, for the moment, is stunned. And we're told that Bam Morris has a sprained knee, and he may not be returning to action. 13-yard return for Coleman here. So the Steelers will either have to bring Barry Foster onto the field, or we'll see Fred McAfee, the number 3 tailback.
Watch the end of the play. Coleman caught a little bit there. Looks like he might have got his eye poked there by Jason Gilden. Saw the right hand up by the face mask.
Coleman made the biggest play of the game.
Well, he's certainly running tentatively there, Jim. Even at the 27-yard line with less than a minute left, I think the Chargers have to go with their 3 or 4 wide package and see if they can generate something, because you're absolutely right. In terms of the offense, they've done nothing. The touchdown, of course, on the kickoff return.
There's Rod Woodson taking the game off today as he rests his injured knee and gets ready for the playoffs. Does he merit consideration for AFC Defensive Player of the Year?
Absolutely. Plus his versatility. Look at that. Not only can he rush the passer and cover, he can work with the camera. Nothing Rod Woodson can do.
Coleman leaves the field. Next Sunday, join NBC Sports for the opening round of the NFL playoffs, the AFC wildcard game. Before the game, host Greg Gumbel, our team of Super Bowl champion coaches Ditka and Gibbs, co-host Ahmad Rashad will keep you up to date with all the information from around the league and the excitement of NFL player action with the winner advancing to the AFC divisional playoffs, the loser preparing to go home. That's next week. That's a game the Chargers don't want to be playing. On first down, Stan Humphries throws complete to Tony Martin, and now the Chargers have a chance to do something as Martin takes it all the way out to the 49 before Gary Jones runs him out.
Short corner route. Take a look. They bump him and let him go. Rarely, this is where you see the Steelers in the zone. He finds the soft spot. Nice throw by Humphries, putting it right on the chest of Martin. He has to loft it over the linebacker. Touch pass. Great job by number 12.
Third catch for 48 yards for Martin. Chargers in their three-wide package with Ronnie Harmon on the field as well. So all receivers in the game for San Diego now. Humphries throws, and it's batted into the air and caught by Alfred Papunu, and Papunu is inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Ed Robinson made the sound clutch play by Papunu, who almost lost a good Humphries throw.
Jim, remember the line, it's sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. There's a case of this. Papunu to the right of your screen, man-for-man coverage by Robinson. The ball is up in there. This is good coverage. Watch. He gets a hand out and gets a piece of it, but look at the concentration by Papunu. Comes back across his shoulder, makes the catch. Great effort and concentration on the part of Alfred Papunu, former Weber State tight end.
Only 19 catches coming into the game this year, but Papunu had more than 90 catches one year in college.
Yeah, he's their move guy. He is their H-back, as the terminology goes in the San Diego Charger offense, and he is somebody that certainly can make the catches. He has one of the more unique touchdown dances in the National Football League, and for whatever reason, if number 86 gets in the end zone, we will get a treat.
Is it a hula?
No, it's not a hula. I've been told, though, that it's sharp.
Speaking of sharp, how about Sterling with 3 more TDs today?
18 on the season. What a year.
Humphries, 8 of 16 for 93 yards. Chargers with a first down. Dumped is Ronnie Harmon as number 96 Brenton Buckner and number 21 Dion Figures came across for Pittsburgh.
That looks like a bad call, and you hear them boo, but because of the effectiveness of the way they were throwing the ball, how many times have you seen them surprise people with a drop play? Give the Pittsburgh Steelers credit. They were not fooled.
It's a loss of 4. It'll be second down 14 from the 32. Chargers use their second of 3 timeouts, so they'll have 1 remaining.
One of the complaints of the Charger offense this season, Jim, has been the fact that they have stalled when they get into the scoring position. Hence the reason why John Carney has so many field goals.
San Diego only 18 rush yards in the game. Pittsburgh with 99. Ralph Friedkin, the San Diego offensive coordinator, looking for the answers here now as the Chargers try to use their passing game to get into scoring position.
Well, the one thing is that the Chargers are known as a running team, but interestingly enough, they have a tremendous balance. Heading into this game, they had averaged 33 pass plays and 30 rushes. So that man's doing a good job of finding the balance in the offense, spreading it around to numerous people.
39 seconds before halftime. Steelers leading 13-10 after the Charles Johnson touchdown catch. Humphries complete down the middle. Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon gets out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Ed Robinson, the linebacker, beaten on the play by Harmon.
Take a look at what the Chargers do with protection. They're going to come with a safety blitz to the left. They pull the guard out. The guard has figures. That makes single coverage for Harmon. He is the hot read. He gets into the middle. And look at the upper body strength of number 33. Darren Perry just cannot bring him to the ground. Harmon says, I'm getting out of bounds first, and I'm going to stop the clock. Great individual effort on the part of Ronnie Harmon. Good blocking scheme by the Chargers.
On first and goal, touchdown.
Did you see the backflip? Sweet!
And Say, who had 2 big drops early in the game, comes back to redeem himself.
Jim, you're absolutely right. He's got to feel a lot better about himself. He had some problems early in the game, and let's give credit to Humphries. Looking over with the quick pass. Great drive down the field, exactly what they needed, just what the doctor ordered, and it took all of 34 seconds.
Tremendous job by Stan Humphries to bring the Chargers back from what could have been a psychologically crippling position going to halftime. Party adds the PAT, and it's 17-13. San Diego back on top.
Take a look at the great job Humphrey does. Goes with the quick count. 26 seconds left. Everybody's discombobulated. Where do we go? Where do we go? He catches them napping. Just right over the middle. Say finds the opening in between Dion Figures and the safety. Touchdown Chargers, and what a sweet backflip. I give it an 8-5.
I give it a 9.
Well, you always have to one-up me, don't you?
Well, on the circumstances, you got to give it a 9, Todd.
Really was. He bounces up
This
quickly
is the
and does
last
it.
game backflip.
And
Easy to do it in the first week of the season when your legs are fresh.
And with no momentum. Don't forget, remember, we watched Henry Eller do that for the Washington Redskins. He does the front flip.
I want to see Humphries do a backflip.
No, not with that elbow, he's not.
Elbow? What about his legs and his knees?
He's got to have that momentum with the elbow. And he compliments Ronnie Harmon, who's the one that really got him down there with that tremendous individual effort.
Well, they had huge plays in the drive from Papunu, from Ronnie Harmon. Say with the touchdown catch.
Does it ever cease to amaze you, Jim, the number of times you get into this situation, teams struggle forever, then all of a sudden in the last 2 minutes, Pittsburgh, down the field. San Diego, you use the word impotent in terms of their offense, all of a sudden, down the field, same thing. Amazing.
That's what every fan at home is saying, Todd, too. Why don't they play like that throughout the half?
Well, the argument there is the fatigue factor. We can't do that. We can't do that for an entire 60 minutes. Of course, a team called Buffalo seemed to have done it fairly effectively for 4 years of this decade with their K-gun, didn't they?
Yeah, and before them, the Cincinnati Bengals. Teams have done it. There, the numbers on Humphries greatly improved as a result of that drive. Loose football. Steelers get on it.
This is an atrocious play. This is an absolutely atrocious play. They have been covering people all day long, Jim. Why now do you want a squib kick, get at the 35-yard line, 23 seconds left? I realize that Pittsburgh doesn't have any timeouts left, but one lucky throw and they're in field goal position. I don't get it.
Add a return to Jeff Ziganina's stats. He's the one who fell on the football for the Steelers.
Well, Scanina's recovery is fine, but my point is that they have not been doing anything anyway, and now I don't understand this either. Why not give it a shot? Why
First
not
and
give it
10
a shot
from the
here?
34, 23 seconds on the clock.
Why are they going to kneel down? Why not give it a shot here?
I want to take the chance.
All right.
Maybe because on the last play of the half, Kansas City got an interception for a touchdown.
But take a listen to this. The crowd's now back in the game, and the momentum clearly has shifted to the blue and gold side.
And with the San Diego Chargers leading the Pittsburgh Steelers at halftime, 17-13 in San Diego. A game that the Chargers absolutely have to win in their minds. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Our fourth kicker is
Halftime in Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The Chargers, 17-13 leaders over the Pittsburgh Steelers. After a clutch drive in the final minute of the first half, produced a Humphries to say touchdown pass.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to New York, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Joe Gibbs, and once again, happy holidays to you and yours. Let's run down scores and highlights for you. The big game in Los Angeles between the Raiders and the Chiefs. And they're just underway in the second half now with the Chiefs leading 14-3. First sellout of the year at the LA Coliseum in the opening drive. 3rd and 12, Joe Montana to wide open Willie Davis. 47 yards and a touchdown and a 7-0 Chiefs lead. 7-3 in the second quarter. The Raiders driving with time running out. Look at what happens. Jeff Hostetler picked off by Mark Collins, who returns 78 yards for the touchdown. That took all the air out of the Raiders. We'll see how badly it affects them at the start of the second half, but as time expires, the Chiefs grab a 14-3 lead. What do you think it did to the Raiders at halftime?
Well, anytime I've experienced in coaching, something really bad or really good happens right before halftime, it has a big effect on the team. So it'll be interesting to see the way they bounce back. Greg, these guys are both statistically very close. It's just those big mistakes that made the difference.
All right. Meanwhile, the winner of this game goes to the playoffs, and the loser is finished for the year 14-3 Kansas City. In San Diego, the game that you're watching, the Chargers leading the Steelers at halftime 17-13 at the Houston Astrodome. The Oilers hosting the New York Jets and leading the Jets 13-7 in the third quarter. In Denver, John Elway not playing in this game. At halftime, the Saints and Jim Everett leading Denver 17-6, and in Anaheim, the Rams hosting the Redskins and leading in the third quarter 21-17. Now, earlier today at Soldier Field in Chicago, the New England Patriots won their way into the AFC playoff picture, 13-3 over Chicago. There is the lucky shovel for the Patriots. They've won 7 straight with that on the sideline. Chicago looking for a tying field goal in the third quarter. Kevin Butler's attempt blocked by Troy Barnett. Butler later missed the 36-yard attempt. It was 6-3 New England in the fourth quarter. Drew Bledsoe to Leroy Thompson, 3-yard touchdown with 2.5 minutes to play. Gave the Patriots their 13-3 winning margin. And a little tradition in New England now. Parcells gets dunked with the Gatorade. Here's what Bill had to say after the game in the locker room.
I just told him I was proud of him and that I'd had my butt kicked in this stadium a couple of times, and I was grateful that they could help me feel a little bit better about coming here.
I've said all along, I'd give anything to be in this position today. I never thought I'd see it happen based on the way things had gone the last 5 or 6 years. But, we've been able to hang together. We got a long way to go, but we're no longer the doormats of the league.
No, they are not. Here's the AFC playoff picture. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, San Diego, New England, Miami, all in with the winner of the Raiders and the Chiefs game joining them. Now, one other thing about that game today. Ben Coates established a new record for tight ends with receptions in a season, 96, eclipsing by 1 the mark held by our colleague Todd Christensen. You say that's a phenomenal number for both these guys,
Well,
Joe.
it is for this reason, because when we had Kellen Winslow, we moved him all over the place to get him off the line of scrimmage. Both these guys played typical tight ends. They had to release every time off the line of scrimmage and getting hit by linebackers all the time. This is an amazing feat by both these guys, Todd and Ben.
All right, Joe. Meanwhile, New England hits the playoffs with a 7-game winning streak. They win it today 13-3. The Cleveland Browns will host a wild card game in the first round of the playoffs. They beat Seattle today 35-9 at the Meadowlands. The Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys 15-10. Troy Aikman started at quarterback in this game, but he was replaced by Rodney Peete. But Dave Brown was the throwing hero today. Here in the second quarter, it was 3-0 Dallas when he hit Mike Sherrard over the middle. Sherrard turns it into a 49-yard touchdown. Up the steps, into the stands. For an early Christmas gift to a fan, the Giants led 7-3. They held on to win it. They've won their last 6, but they will miss the playoffs because one thing the Giants needed today was to beat the Cowboys. The other was for Green Bay to beat Tampa Bay. It didn't happen. The Packers win it by a score of 34-19. Mike Holmgren just needed a win, and he was in the postseason, and he got it. Brett Favre and Sterling Sharp connected on 3 touchdown passes today. This 22-yarder gave the Packers a 21-6 lead. Sharp's third, his league-leading 18th of the year, set a Packer team record. Favre broke a club record with his 33rd. Here is the NFC playoff picture. San Fran and Dallas will have first-round playoff byes. Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, all in from the NFC Central. Only the final position still to be determined. How do you feel about facing a team for a third time during the year?
I didn't want anybody else in my division to even get in. These guys, everybody's in, so I never liked that, really.
Too familiar?
Yeah, too familiar, I think, and I think it takes something a little away from the game when you're looking forward to playing somebody else in the playoffs. Really.
All right, the Green Bay Packers win their 3rd in a row. They win 34-19. Arizona was hoping for a playoff spot. Didn't happen. The Falcons stopped the Cardinals at the 1-yard line on the final play of the game, and Atlanta comes away with a 10-6 win. In Indianapolis, the Colts finish at 8-8. They beat Buffalo 10-9, and the AFC champion Bills, defending AFC champion Bills, finished the year at 7-9, losing 4 of their last 5 games. And in Cincinnati, Bengals kicker Doug Pelfrey, a game-tying field goal with 3 seconds to play. After recovering the onside kick, the Bengals gave Pelfrey a shot as time ran out from 54 yards out, and he won it. They beat the Eagles 33-30. And we'll send you back out to San Diego for the second half right after these messages from your local station.
Journey have a 17-13 halftime lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen, a first half filled with big plays, notably the 90-yard kickoff touchdown return for Andre Coleman of the Chargers, but No bigger plays than those in the drive that closed out the half for San Diego and gave the Chargers the lead. Coors Light halftime stats, Todd.
Well, the thing that stands out here, you mentioned time of possession, but of course, a lot of that is an aberration simply because of the fact that one of the Charger touchdowns was that long kickoff return. Rushing yards is something that the Chargers are going to have to rectify. Only 18 rushing yards. That can't continue for them if they're going to win this football game.
Gary Anderson kicks. Andre Coleman takes it outside his 15-yard line, gets past the first man, and stopped at the 22-yard line. Only a 9-yard return. Willie Williams downfield on the tackle.
You know, Jim, it's almost as if because of the fact that he had the touchdown, he's been running tentatively since. Terrible return since that one big touchdown.
And better coverage by the Steelers. But San Diego will start with the football at its 22-yard line. Natron Means back on the field at tailback for San Diego. A slow first half for Means, and one of the priorities today, secondary to winning the game, get Means going and back in gear for the playoffs. Humphries playing pretty well. On first down, Means has a yard or two. Kevin Green on the stop for the Steelers. Green without a sack today as he tries to protect his NFL lead in that category against Leslie O'Neal of the Chargers.
Well, he's only been close once. We remember the misdirection early in the first quarter. We had him in his grasp, but since that time, he really hasn't been within shouting distance of Humphries. The offensive line doing the job there.
It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. They credit Means with 2 yards on first down. Ronnie Harmon in motion, and Humphries looking to throw. Short gain to Harmon. Kevin Green on the stop again for the Steelers. Harmon, who made the huge play to set up the touchdown pass to Say that gave the Chargers the lead.
A lot of people wondering, you know, remember he had back-to-back seasons with over 70 catches as to whether or not he was still as effective, but the reality is, in talking to Don Capers, he confessed to us the point that, yes, Ronnie Harmon, when he's in as a third down back, is somebody who still requires special attention.
3rd and 5 at the 27, 3 wide receivers and Harmon in the game. Humphries throws to number 81, Tony Martin. First down yardage across the 35 to the 37. Willie Williams on the stop for Pittsburgh.
Of course, they had an awful lot of wide receivers down in Miami, Jim, and Tony Martin found himself as the odd man out. As a result, he ends up coming here to San Diego, and he has had an outstanding season. 7 touchdowns, over 18 yards per catch, and of course, as we mentioned earlier, that big 99-yard record tire earlier in the season.
Martin appeared to have a slight limp as he went off the field. We'll watch to see if he comes back. Dwayne Young in motion behind Humphries, who fakes to Means and gets rid of the football as Kevin Green tries again.
Well, fortunately for the San Diego Chargers, they had a screen pass set up to Means, and that way Humphries was able to get rid of it. Nobody touches Green at all. He cuts right inside the tight end. Nobody touches him. Humphries able to get rid of it, throw it at the feet of Means, but Green once again denied his 15th sack, which would be not only leading the National Football League, Jim, it would tie the team record set by Mike Merriweather.
Kevin Green headed to the Pro Bowl at outside linebacker, reborn with the Steelers after the Rams tried to make him a down lineman. Second down 10. Humphries fakes, and again gets rid of the football while in the grasp. It's up for grabs. Carnell Lake couldn't quite get to it as Harmon fought him for the ball.
That was a hook-and-go route. You saw the pump fake, but the Pittsburgh Steelers were in his face. Tony Martin was wide open on the other side of the field, but the pressure by Gilden forces him to get the pop-up, and that's what Brown does, gets it up in the air, and it's really a good job by Ronnie Harmon to be on top of it. Actually kind of playing defensive back here himself, keeping the ball away from Carnell Lake.
3 for 8 on third down are the Chargers as they arrive at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down 10. He'd get the football to 48 for a first down. Harmon and the 3 wide receivers on the field. Blitz for Pittsburgh is picked up, and Tony Martin has the catch into Pittsburgh territory at the 43-yard line, knocked down by Myron Bell.
The one thing that the San Diego Chargers do well is they keep their tight ends in, and they have what's called max or maximum protection. Take a look from the left of your screen. Here comes the blitz, but look at all the time he has. And of course, when you come with that many people, you know that's man-for-man coverage, and Tony Martin is feasting on that today.
Having a big day. 5 catches for 78 yards now for Martin. Steelers playing a lot of reserves on defense as they rest their regulars to get ready for the playoffs. throw is complete. And number 80, Sean Jefferson, tried to cut back for more yardage, but Levon Kirkland made him pay.
Made him pay indeed. Take a look. He ends up taking his head off practically. Here comes Jefferson on the motion inside. Runs what's called a little bit of a swirl route back to the outside. Number 99, 260 pounds worth. Much more upper body strength than Jefferson, needless to say. Nothing wrong with that tackle.
A lot of people thought the Chargers were dead and buried at wide receiver after losing Anthony Miller to Denver in the offseason. They came in with a cast of cast-offs, Jefferson, Martin, and Say, but they've held up pretty well over the course of the season. Means on first down has a gain of about 3 before Brenson Buckner makes the stop for Pittsburgh.
Interesting point with regards to that receiving core, Jim, is that not a single one of them had been a starter in the National Football League. And take a look at the excellent distribution that they have. 52, 44, and 40. Integrate into the mix the fact that Ronnie Harmon has caught 52 balls and Natron Mean has caught 39. Then you have to say that Ralph Freakin has done an outstanding job of spreading the wealth around.
To adjust those numbers, give Say his 6th touchdown of the season. That was in the first half. Martin now 1 catch away from 50 for the year. Humphries throws in the dirt in front of Alfred Pupuno.
Makes for an interesting decision here, Jim, on fourth down at the 37-yard line. 54-yard field goal is a long way away, and based on what we see here on the sideline, it appears the Chargers are going to go for it.
They need 4 yards from the 37. You look at Bobby Ross. His mind apparently made up. Harmon coming off the field, and Means goes back on.
Well, now that is strange.
That's a strange personnel choice on fourth down 4, and now
Timeout, Pittsburgh.
the Steelers want timeout.
Timeout.
The Steelers perhaps thrown for a loop by San Diego's personnel choice on that play, and they want to talk about it. You saw the shifting cloud bank over the marina of one of America's most beautiful cities, Santa, with the lightning bolts coming out of his head as Charger fans adorned themselves with decorations to get ready for today's game. Fourth down 4 for the Chargers from the Steeler 37. Humphries' throw is caught for first down yardage by Mark Say. Figures with the stop, but a perfect throw and a good catch.
And that does a lot for Mark Say, not getting the first down, but in a confidence factor. He had the drop earlier, and even though he had the short touchdown pass, to come to him on such a crucial play here on fourth down, young man has to feel pretty good about himself.
One of the tiny elements of Bobby Ross's particular genius, a willingness to keep working with players to build their confidence rather than to penalize them for mistakes. On first down, Natron Means with the football, and Means is inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. A pickup of 4, it'll be second down 6.
Well, you mentioned Bobby Ross. I think that this is truly one of the underappreciated, unappreciated coaches in the National Football League. Never mind the record, the 2 division titles in 3 years. It's just the fact that when you talk to the players, they just have such great respect for him. And the fact that he's not charismatic or he's not a great quote, what does that have to do with it?
Means with a little open territory for the first time in a few weeks, and he's across the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Levon Kirkland on the stop, but there's been a lot of talk here in San Diego about whether Means is worn out. Bobby Ross said to us, he's not worn out. We need our offensive line to give him the kind of holes he had in the first half of the season.
And I think he's taking that personally, too. I don't think he appreciates the fact that people are saying that he's worn down or that the first half was a fluke. You know, the first half of the season, he had 400-yard games. Take a look at the average games, 1 through 8, nearly 100 yards. Since that time, less than 68.
He got first down yardage there, and here he's met by a stack of Steeler tacklers. Jason Gilden coming across to lead the charge as Natron is held to a couple. There's Chad Brown, Gilden. So many strong tacklers along that defensive front for Pittsburgh, whether the starters are playing or the reserves.
And they sneak Ronnie Harmon in, and inevitably when Ronnie Harmon comes in, that changes the defense, but they didn't change, and now they've got Ronnie Harmon flanked out wide.
13th play of the San Diego drive. 8:40 to go in the third period. Clock running. Harmon inside the 10 to about the 5-yard line. Darren Perry able to make the tackle in open field.
Jim, the reason I mention that is because of the fact that Ronnie Harmon comes in. They didn't change anything for Ronnie Harmon like they usually do. He comes in motion. Look at him on the crossing route. He absolutely gets lost. except, of course, for the umpire. Sneaks past him, now makes a move. Nice tackle there by Darren Perry, but not until the damage is done. You have to account for number 33 when he's in the game.
First and goal at the 5-yard line. Harmon with a similar play set up the touchdown at the end of the first half that gave the Chargers the lead. Young comes set on the left side as the Chargers build strong left and run Means behind it down to about the 2. Kirkland with the stop for Pittsburgh.
Well, the one thing they want to do here is that they want to pound it in. They want to show that they're a physical team. And the interior of the offensive line of the San Diego Chargers, Courtney Hall, Isaac Davis, and Joe Malinchik, they want to push this in.
Number 72 has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 72.
All right, so Harry Swain is an eligible receiver now. Normally lines up at the tackle position. He is at this moment a tight end. Means 9 of his 10 touchdowns in the first half of the season. Humphries overthrows Swain.
I don't understand that call.
I don't either.
I really don't.
You had 2nd and 2 with an offensive line that was coming off the ball.
Unless, of course, maybe it's in Bobby Ross's mind here that they want to go. I mean, that's great. Harry Swain, yeah, he's a good athlete, great left tackle, and sure, maybe you can't catch the ball. But why do you want to opt for that when Means is running as well as he's been running this series?
Ralph Friedkin and the offensive staff. 17th play of the drive now for San Diego. Papuno in motion. Here's Means behind him. Touchdown. And I think we do understand that call, right, Todd?
Jim, the momentum that they had going into halftime is something that they regenerate with this drive. Look at the left side and look at all of the white shirts that are on the ground. Whenever you see a 1-yard gain where the guy comes in untouched, that means the offensive line is doing the job.
So John Carney will now try to punctuate Natron Means' 11th rushing touchdown of the year. Through and good, and the Chargers have a 24-13 lead now with 7 minutes 12 seconds remaining in the third behind Natron Means.
This is what you call physical dominance. Take a look at the white shirts and how many are left standing as Means crosses the goal line. There's Kevin Green. Look at the rest. No more white shirts. Chad Brown and Kevin Green, the other 9 are all on the ground. Great job by the offensive line, and Natron Means outstanding in that series, at least for the time being, refuting the idea that he's fatigued, Jim.
78-yard drive in 17 plays. Ate up more than 7.5 minutes. Now Carney's kick goes to Charles Johnson, and Johnson from inside the 10 is strung out and hammered. Knocked down at the 17-yard line by Eric Castle. 10-yard return only. Chargers with the house on their side and an 11-point lead. As we bring it back to San Diego, it's our enormous good fortune to find the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 cruising above the Murph to provide aerial coverage of today's football game for NBC Sports. There's the Blimp Christmas card for our own personal pleasure. The Blimp will attend over 35 sports events and television specials this year, but only one of them on Christmas Eve. We got it. Mike Tomczak back in the game at quarterback for the Steelers as they start with the football inside their 20, now trailing 24-13. On first down, Fred McAfee, the number 3 tailback in the game, has a gain of about 5 across the 20 for the Steelers.
Now the theory here is you're saying, well, we want to give these young guys a chance to run the football. And Bill Cowher mentioned that they would. But I think a lot of that, too, is the fact that Barry Foster with the back problems, and, of course, Bam Morris went out with some bruised ribs in the first half. So I don't think McAfee is so much a luxury as a necessity at this point, Jim.
Let's give McAfee credit for 7 yards on first down. 2nd and 3 as the football's all the way out at the 24 now. McAfee this time is met behind the line of scrimmage. First man across was number 98, Sean Lee. And then Chris Mims was there to help wrap him up.
Sean Lee is somebody with 6.5 sacks, and as you mentioned, he is a part of a defense third in the National Football League against the rush, only giving up 84 yards per game. And he was quoted as saying, "I don't understand. Is Michael Dean Perry and Cortez Kennedy automatics?" He says, "Let's go by what happened on the field." And I think he's got a beef there, Jim, in terms of if you look at the numbers.
Who do you lift, Perry or Tez?
Perry.
On third down, Tomczak throws complete for first down yardage to number 82, Yancey Thigpen. And Willie Clark makes the stop for San Diego, but Thigpen is across the 35.
Get up 10. Stop by number 31.
Every time he catches the ball, it's proof. Why'd you cut me? Why'd you cut me? I'm good enough. Not only can I catch, I can break tackles. Should have never let me go, Chargers.
So move it out to the 37. Tomczak and the Steelers first down. Clock running. 5.5 minutes to go in the third period. Tomczak looking deep. Thigpen goes down, and so does the flag. That'll be a Dwayne Harper interference.
And not a smart interference either. There's no way he's going to catch up with the ball. Take a look at the top of your screen. Thigpen gets around him. Now he's with him. He knows what he's doing. Look back. Now watch the left hand right there. Watch there. He pushes him right
Pass
there.
interference.
Absolutely
Defense,
foolish.
number 28.
He's not going to catch the ball anyway.
Harper picked up as an unrestricted free agent from Seattle in the offseason.
In fairness to Harper, Jim, one of the situations when you are on an island as a cornerback, you have to make that decision. There's nobody that can make the decision for you. The free safety can't yell and say, "Oh, hey, by the way, he's not going to catch up to that one." Harper makes the decision, and it turns out beneficial for the Steelers.
And it moves it all the way to the 31-yard line of San Diego. So it's a 32-yard penalty. McAfee is net but fights forward across the 30. And then they drag him back to the 37.
Well, McAfee may be just a little bit quicker than Foster or Morris, but he does not have the bulk or the strength. Watch as he cuts to the outside and all the blue shirts that take him on. You see, look at Junior Seau, how quick he is. He actually runs around, if you saw that. He ran around Dermontti Dawson. They teach linebackers not to do that, but with his great speed, he's able to do it and get in on the tackle. What a player. By the way, just to show you how big that is, the Junior Seau gear, it's selling up in Alpine, Utah. That's how big it is, my hometown.
Alpine, Utah, just another suburb of San Diego. Tomczak goes down. Chris Mims is there again.
Evidently, the whistle hasn't blown.
Yep. That loose football is apparently available, and John Jackson, offensive tackle for the Steelers, has it.
Well, that's not paying attention on part of the Chargers then. Give Jackson credit for recovering that ball. Everybody started to stand still when they saw Tomczak go down when the ball was loose. He had the wherewithal to find it. And he's trying to explain it to everybody. Everybody's screaming at Dick Hantak, "Hey, what's the deal? Watch at the end of the play. Where's the ball? The ball is out. There's the ball." John Jackson picks it up. Dick Hantak right on top of it. He called it a fumble. Jackson with the recovery. And, strangely enough, they're now back in field goal range. If that ball would have been dead there, they're out of field goal range.
Yeah, Jackson got about 6 yards back for it. On third down and 11, Tomczak looking deep for Dwight Stone. He's open and has the football at the 7-yard line. He beat Willie Clark easily for the long grab.
Chargers getting really cocky here, Jim. They come with the all-out blitz, and they have man coverage. The throw by Tomczak, outstanding. He's got him on the corner. Good adjustment by Stone. Throws off the back foot. Stone makes the adjustment, gets both feet down. Great job by Stone adjusting. He has to come back to the ball here. The ball originally should have been thrown towards the pylon. Great job by Stone.
Willie Clark beaten so badly he had no chance to even turn and look for the ball. Steelers hoping to strike back after the Charger touchdown. Have first and goal at the 6. McAfee is the tailback. And McAfee has a touchdown. Dennis Gibson, number 57, had a shot at Fred McAfee, but couldn't stop him short of the goal line.
Going in for the touchdown, McAfee here to the right, cuts inside. Great job of anticipation, finding the hole, and I mentioned that he may not have been the blockbusters the other two were, but he ran right through Gibson. And now, because of the setup and the score, the Pittsburgh Steelers will go for a 2-point conversion.
To try to narrow 24-19 to 24-21 and get back within a field goal. Just when it appeared the Chargers were ready to take command of the game, the Steelers, with reserves on offense, came down the field. McAfee, big play by Dwight Stone, who hasn't played that much this year. And of course, Tom Zach at QB. And now the try for two. Everything loaded to the right. Tom Zach's throw is picked off. Number 92, David Griggs, is the man who caught the football, and Cowher says that's okay. We're back in it. So 3 minutes, 5 seconds now remain in the third period. And the Pittsburgh Steelers creep back to within 5 at 24-19. Todd Christensen in San Diego, and we wish all of you a spectacular Christmas weekend as you watch this game, which the Chargers have identified for themselves as a must-win, and in which they lead 24-19 against what have to be called now the pesky Pittsburgh Steelers, playing many reserve players, a lot of frontliners resting, but the Steelers won't go away, and they just completed an 83-yard touchdown drive. Now Ronnie Harmon takes the kickoff and gets outside for a moment before number 27, Willie Williams, makes a clutch tackle to stop him. Chargers will have pretty good field position at their 35-yard line when we come back. You think it'll snow for Christmas here, Todd?
Yeah.
You think she'll be cold if it does? Tomorrow, join NBC Sports for an exciting NBA doubleheader with NBA Showtime tipping things off at 3:30 Eastern. Then it's the first rematch of one of the great upsets in NBA playoff history as Seattle meets Denver. You'll recall that last year Seattle had the best regular season record in the league, but got bumped in the first round of the playoffs by Dikembe and company. Then game two, renewal of one of the sport's keenest rivalries. Keen, I like that word. As Patrick Ewing leads the New York Knicks against Scottie Pippen and the Chicago Bulls. That's Seattle-Denver and Knicks-Bulls with NBA Showtime starting it off at 3:30 tomorrow, Christmas Day. On first down for the Chargers with their best drive beginning field position of the day, Rodney Culver, who had 6 carries for 59 yards against the Jets last week, gets his first carry of the day and a gain of 4 out to the 39.
Little change of pace, get Rodney Culver and get him some carries, maybe a little bit quicker than Natron Means, and of course they want to give him a little bit of a rest. Bobby Ross said that they wanted to get some balance in the offense and get some other running backs involved in the game, and that's happened today. 4 different backs have carried the ball.
Culver, collected on waivers from Indianapolis this year, was inactive 13 of the first 14 games, but Ross says he can play. Gilden can't get Humphries to the ground, and Humphries releases it almost into the hands of Levon Kirkland.
Well, not that Greg Lloyd has a lot to worry about. I mean, he is a Pro Bowler after all, but take a look at number 92, who just absolutely whips past Alfred Papunu like he's not there. Gilden is showing that he deserves some playing time besides just on special teams.
The rookie who broke Leslie O'Neal's career sack record at Oklahoma State. There's Greg Lloyd, who's been doing some heavy cheerleading on the sideline for the Steelers today.
As well as a little coaching, too, you notice.
On third down, 7, Humphries releases, complete for first down, yardage to Papunu. And Robinson made the stop.
Well, Papunu atones a little bit for the bad block on Gilden by getting the first down. As you mentioned, a pass catcher, Weber State, but primarily a blocker here. Man-for-man coverage with the linebacker. In all modesty, I must say the tight end should always win that one.
Incidentally, our condolences on the passing of your single-season tight end pass receiving record. 95 balls. They give it to Coates now, who had 96 catches this year, but I kind of thought you had to win by 2.
Yeah, evidently volleyball and table tennis rules do not apply to this. And but you know what they say, Jim? Records are made to be broken.
Yes, I'm sure you feel that way. Here's a look at Kevin Green.
Kevin Green showing that the criticism of him just being exclusively a pass rusher is bogus, coming in with a big hit on Culver. Once again, that sportsmanship that you documented earlier, Jim, pat on the helmet.
Is that a pat or a headset? Second down 10. Humphries fires in the flat. Tim McKyer had a bead on the ball. Wound up making the tackle on Ronnie Harmon. After a gain of a couple, it'll be 3rd down 8.
Ronnie Harmon out in the flat, as you mentioned. McKyer right on top of it. Bit of a zone coverage there in the secondary. McKyer brings Ronnie Harmon down. No small feet in the open field.
You say he's got big feet?
F-E-A-T, partner.
I got you. Make it 3rd down 7. Football at the 49. We've got to get it all the way down to the 42 for a 1st down. With 3 wides, Humphries tries number 81, Tony Martin. And that was almost a Willie Williams pick. And that's going to bring up a punting situation for San Diego.
Brenson Buckner was all over Humphries. Take a look back here, number 96, their 2nd-round pick, right in his face, bringing him down. Might have taken a little bit off the ball, but Tony Martin came back to the ball, but Williams just made the play.
Charles Johnson waits at his 10-yard line with players like Buckner and Gilden. The Steelers are already making their transition to the future with this already great defense. Johnson makes the fair catch at the 17-yard line and chats amiably with the Charger who is downfield on coverage.
Rodney Harrison, the leading
37.
tackler. 19 tackles. Interesting, too. They chat with one another. There's a guy who has made an impact for the Chargers in the special teams, along with Andre Coleman, both rookies.
32-yard punt for Brian Wagner. And the Steelers will start with the football at their 17-yard line. When last they possessed it, Mike Tomczak took them down the field to a touchdown by running back Fred McAfee.
Well, the reality here, Jim, is the fact that the San Diego Chargers have not stopped Mike Tomczak. Every drive that he has engineered has been a score.
Junior Seau exhorting the crowd, and they come up with some noise in response. McAfee on 1st down, runs into Seau, Gibson, Griggs, and no gain. And that brings the 3rd quarter to a close. Pretty good football game. San Diego 24, Steelers 19. We'll be back.
This is the conclusion of the 3rd quarter.
Living legend Chet Forty directing for us today in the truck. That's not Chet, that's just a shot he chose to identify San Diego, and that's another one, and that's another one. This Chet Forty's something else, isn't he, Todd?
All world.
1st down, Steelers from the 17-yard line. Mike Tomczak having a whale of a game, and loose for a touchdown is Charles Johnson. 2nd TD of the day for Johnson. Steelers take the lead.
Now, isn't that funny? They show Cowher on the sidelines. They go to him, and as opposed to being excited like everybody else, he had his little card, checking to see whether he should go for 1 or 2, and of course they're going to go for 2.
83 yards, and into the tunnel goes Johnson. 2 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Slant route here. He throws it between some people. Darren Gordon makes the mistake right there. Doesn't make the tackle. Now he breaks a couple of other tackles, and he has some genuine speed here right at midfield. He's absolutely gone, but he can't put on the brakes too soon, so all of a sudden he's going to do the disappearing act.
And what tremendous news it is for the Steelers looking into the playoffs if Charles Johnson is finally ready to emerge as the big play threat they hoped he would be when they drafted him number 1.
Now, the problem, they said, was his inability to run defined routes. He certainly has the speed, as they said, and that was well documented on that play.
There he goes in motion on the 2-point try. They throw to Stone in the back of the end zone and make it 8. The Steelers go from 24-19 to 27-24 just like that.
Dwight Stone in the back of the end zone. Gordon lets him go. Carrington doesn't adjust. He's the one that has to make a move, find out where the people are. Stone knew where he was on the field, got his feet in for the 2-point conversion.
Another terrific throw by Tomczak, too.
Well, Tomczak's just having an absolutely all-world game. Despite the sprained knee, he is absolutely accurate, right on the money. Take a look at the throw and watch where he has to thread the needle. Look at the blue shirts, does a great job looking people up. Now look at what he did to Junior Seau. You saw Seau turn around there. He was fooled. He went away from the throw as well, and Johnson does a great job of showing that he's not just one of those Smurf receivers, but somebody with a powerful upper body, shaking off the tackles and going the distance.
The rookie out of Colorado, one of the great human interest stories in the National Football League. Struggled through a junior high school and high school career that often found him homeless, living with friends or occasionally out of an automobile. Whoever would have thought that he could rise from there to his present circumstance as a coming star in the National Football League.
He's a great receiver in Colorado, but let's give some credit to this guy right here. He has just been absolutely unstoppable.
So now Gary Anderson kicks it away for the Steelers. Andre Coleman takes it at his 5. Coleman, who had the 90-yard kickoff return in the first half, in a game of big plays, is across the 25 to the 28 before Willie Williams makes the stop. Mike Tomczak, 7 of 9, 175 yards now in the game, and the touchdown pass on the 83-yarder there to Charles Johnson.
Absolutely amazing. Average per attempt. Look at that, 20 yards per attempt.
Well, he must like it when we were around, Todd, because when we were in Three Rivers for his game against the Miami Dolphins, he had a career-high 340-plus yards passing. Natron Means back in the game at tailback for the Chargers as they start from just inside their 30. Number 82 with the football is Mark Say, and Say is across the 45 and near midfield before McIyer finally makes the stop.
You know, Jim, for two very defensive-minded teams, we're seeing an awful lot of offense today. 27-24, up and down the field, big plays, kickoff returns, 83-yard touchdown. That's very surprising. I'm sure the people who came here didn't anticipate this.
Stan Humphries looks quite happy to be in a shootout. Got that competitor's grin creeping around his features as the Chargers move with it. First down 10 at the 49-yard line. Means bundled. Chad Brown.
And on to Means.
This year, Natron Means broke the Chargers' single-season rushing record, now over 1,300 yards. He's been somewhat slow today.
Chad Brown was fiddling with his shoulder pads there for a moment. Now gets himself geared up and ready. Second down 9. Football right at midfield. Humphries goes down. Chad Brown on the blitz, along with number 93, Joel Steed, from the nose tackle position. And briefly, we'll break away to join Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Jim, in Los Angeles, things get worse for the Raiders. They get a reprieve here when Greg Hill fumbles. The Raiders recover at the 2, but on the next play, a penalty in the end zone costs the Raiders a safety. Kansas City now leads at 19-3 in the 4th. Jim?
That game, win or out for both teams, so right now it looks as though the Raiders are in danger of missing the playoffs. First sack of the day for the Steelers is followed by the long completion downfield to Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon is deep into Pittsburgh territory at the 29-yard line.
And this is a bad decision on the part of Darren Perry, the free safety. Watch the free safety, goes for the big knockout punch. Great throw by Humphries. Watch number 93 go for the knockout. Instead of possibly batting the ball down, he misses both. And as a result, Harmon able to come up with another big play. Tremendous throw by Humphries.
Mark it all the way down to the 26. Harmon now 5 catches for 83 yards. Jefferson in motion. Humphries gives to Means. And Natron pounds forward, taking Chad Brown with him for a gain of about 4.
Chad Brown, number 94, with the tackle. And 4 yards on the carry.
Ronnie Harmon has just been absolutely spectacular today, Jim. The plays that he has come up with. Interesting, when I chatted with him about if he takes great pride in this, he says, well, you know, Todd, not really, simply because of the fact that it doesn't make me a complete back to come in here just on 3rd downs. But every time he gets his hands on the ball, he creates something.
Second down 6 from the 22. Humphries to Harmon. Good open field tackle by McIyer. And Humphries has hurt his right hand. It's either the wrist or the hand, and that's a terrible sight for Bobby Ross and the Charger staff. Gail Gilbert immediately up to warm up.
More than likely, it looks like he might have hit his hand on somebody's helmet. We've seen that a lot this year as the pass rush comes in. Take a look at Kelvin Green's helmet. Now watch the right hand come forward. Pow! Hits right on the back of the helmet of Jonathan. Takes a look at the thumb. Kind of a delayed reaction there. Initially, it didn't look like it was all that painful, but evidently it is now.
Stan Humphries, 21 of 35 in the game, 249 yards, a touchdown pass to Mark Say. He's played very well, but he's in trouble at the moment. We'll be back.
Stan Humphries running off the field to go in and get the x-ray. Now, interestingly enough, Jim, we were talking about depth. Pittsburgh Steelers, if Neil O'Donnell comes out, Tom Zach comes in and does a great job. Gail Gilbert has struggled this year. The team is a lot less effective with him at the helm.
Gilbert not nearly as strong-armed as Humphries. On first down, he throws complete to Tony Martin, but Martin is wrapped up by Deion Figures.
Deion Figures not fooled at all in that situation. 3rd down and 5. He goes with the flanker screen. He cuts inside. Figures all over him. Great play.
And now Carney will come on to kick a field goal and try to tie the football game for San Diego. This will be a 40-yard attempt for Carney. Out of Gail Gilbert's hold. David Binn snapping. Ties it at 27 if it goes through. And it does. The 33rd field goal of the year for Carney. 2 away from the league record for one season. Chargers have tied it up. We bring it back to Jack Murphy Stadium, 10:29 to go. Steelers and Chargers tied up in a game which has seen no turnovers, only 4 penalties, high-quality football, but now, Todd, a battle of backup quarterbacks.
Very surprising. Who would have thought it would be 27-27 with over 10 minutes left in the game? But the backup quarterback who's been the key today is Mike Tomczak. Great, the Chargers go down, score, tie it up at 27, but they have yet to stop number 18 today. 4 different drives, all culminating in scores.
And now the Steelers will get the football back for Tomczak as Carney kicks it off for San Diego. Charles Johnson, just recently with an 83-yard touchdown catch and run, gets away from one man, and a flag goes down on the near side of the field as Johnson is wrapped up in the middle of the open field by number 34, Steve Hendricks.
And I tell you what, it was a good thing that he got wrapped up when he did, because he was just about to lateral. If he had a lateral, Thigpen was out of position. That would have been a bad decision.
And the holding call against Pittsburgh is signaled by referee Dick Hansack. And just as I said, we had a brilliant game with no turnovers and only 4 penalties. Up comes the 5th penalty.
And almost a turnover if Johnson opted to lateral that thing.
On the return team, number 69, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look at the end of the play. Johnson does a great job here of breaking the tackle by Harrison, who you see right in the middle is getting held. That's the hold right there. Now watch it. If we get a chance, here it is right at the end of the play. Sean Van Horst wraps up. Now watch. He's thinking about it. Now he's just about to lateral. Boy, I tell you what, if he tries that, there's no way that Thigpen makes that catch over the shoulder. That could have been a big turnover for the Chargers.
So the Steelers start at their 16-yard line. Fred McAfee in the game at tailback. Barry Foster resting, so is Bam Moss. McAfee is free into the San Diego secondary before Darren Carrington drags him down, but it's first down yardage across the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
Well, Bam Morris may be resting, and so is Barry Foster, but the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers is not. Take a look at the job by Searcy pushing Lee down. Great block out front by the wide receiver Hastings in this case. That frees up McAfee, and Carrington makes the tackle downfield, but not before they get some much-needed yardage. The Steelers are really asserting themselves in the front.
Good corner block by Justin Strelsick as well. You see the numbers on McAfee. All 3 Steeler running backs have been effective today. McAfee again gets past Sayah, but this time is wrapped up for no gain by Reuben Davis.
Notice at the end of the play, Sayah struggles, and Duval Love says, yeah, go ahead and chant all that. Knocks him down right at the end of the play. Watch from the left of your screen. Sayah is going to come in. Just missed the tackle. Now watch close to the pile as he's go down. Here comes Sayah. Duval Love says, hello, pow. Take that. That didn't seem to affect him too much. Still had his enthusiasm.
3 more touchdown passes from Favre to Sharp in that Green Bay score you're reading at the bottom of the screen. Good look at Sayal as he settles in on 2nd and 11. Pump fake, Tomczak wants to go deep to Johnson, all alone on the sideline. Carrington's got him, but not before he gets to the San Diego 21, and Johnson was lonely back there after the Tomczak pump fake.
The pump fake just absolutely juked Darren Gordon. Watch number 21. He's going to have a little bit of a move right there, and what's Gordon thinking of? Gordon just sits there and he's looking into the backfield, a no-no for a quarterback, and as a result, either Carrington didn't get over there quick enough or Gordon got caught looking in the backfield, because you're right, terribly lonely downfield. Poor coverage on the part of the Chargers.
What a day for Charles Johnson. 3 catches, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. Steelers threatening again. McAfee belted to the turf by David Griggs.
David Griggs.
Well,
Free agent pickup from Miami.
Charger defense needed something to firing up. Number 92 comes in. This is how they teach it. Catch him in midair and pow, drive him backwards.
2nd down 10. But so far the Chargers have been totally unable to handle Mike Tomczak and the Steeler receiver corps. Clock running, 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Tied at 27. Sean Lee had Tomczak, but Tomczak got rid of the football.
Chargers come with a stunt, and Lee comes inside completely untouched. Heads-up play on the part of Tomczak just to get rid of this ball. He knew where his receiver was, so he got it in the vicinity so he would not get the intentional grounding.
Stan Humphries has come back onto the field, and you see him holding a football there.
But holding it gingerly, if you notice.
Initial indications, no fracture. That's the good news. 3rd down 10. Draw, McAfee, running room, 1st down, almost to the 10-yard line. Stanley Richard with a brutal tackle, but not soon enough to stop McAfee from the 1st down pickup on the draw play.
Junior Sayal giveth and Junior taketh away. Watch number 55, the left of your screen. Can't make the tackle. John Jackson puts him on the ground. Stanley Richard with the big hit at the end, but not before he gets the 1st down yardage.
So they mark it at the 11. It's 1st down 10. They can make a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. With time, Tomczak in and out of the hands of Johnson. Almost had his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Very catchable ball, and I think even Johnson would admit that. Tomczak with the blitz on top of him puts the ball right on his hands, but Johnson can't come up with it. Well, I tell you what, he's got it. Look at that smile on his face. Everything's going his way. He's doing everything right.
And Charles Johnson is stunned as the Steeler trainers now come to look at him.
Watch at the end of the play, the ball goes over the top of Gordon to where only Johnson could have made the catch. Goes right through his hand. You see his right knee a little bit shaken up there. Could be a groin.
When players go down hard here in Jack Murphy Stadium, they're grateful for the soft, natural turf, one of football's most forgiving playing fields. The good news for Steeler fans is that Charles Johnson is up and walking around vigorously as we bring you back to Jack Murphy Stadium. 2nd down, 10 to go for the Steelers. Ball at the 11, tie game. Tomczak away from pressure. In and out of the hands of Stone. Darren Gordon on the coverage. Could have been a touchdown.
And this man did absolutely everything right. Tomczak avoids the rush, bides his time, moves his feet around, finally gets the receiver he wants, puts it on his chest. The guy can't come up with a catch. Tomczak can't do anything more than this. Actually, it's supposed to be a fade route. Now he sees, okay, he scrambled a little bit, sprints away from Gordon, finds himself open, hits him right there. You got to catch the ball. No excuse. You see Tomczak's reaction. He says, come on, what do I got to do? That's 2 in a row that were dropped.
Charles Johnson back on the field on 3rd down 10. Fade. Touchdown. Nope. Yeah. Hastings. He got his feet down in the corner in front of Dwayne Harper.
You saw Stanley Richard debating about whether or not it looked like he bobbled it. Tough to tell from this angle. Take a look at the bottom right of your screen. Hastings on the corner route. Take a look where he comes in. Does he have full possession right there? There's the left foot. There's the right. Oh, boy, that's close.
I don't know. I'm not sure why the crowd is booing. It looked good to me. Gary Anderson adds the extra point. And Andre Hastings celebrates a touchdown. The second-year player out of Georgia. Another big play for the Steelers. Aerial coverage of this terrific football game and the surrounding San Diego area being provided today by the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2. The MetLife Blimp typically cruises at a speed of 35 miles per hour and at an altitude of 1,200 feet. Not a bad way to live up there, Todd. Total yards in the football game.
Who would have thought that Pittsburgh would generate these numbers against the San Diego Charger defense? The thing that's impressive, nearly 300 yards in passing. The very thing Ron Earhart talked about. Yes, we were going to throw the ball a little bit more, but the reason that man's happy is because he's got to be excited about all the contributions of the younger players. And, of course, that man today just having a fabulous game.
11-yard touchdown pass from Tom Zach to Hastings has given the Steelers a 34-27 lead with 6:28 to go. Andre Coleman at his 10-yard line. And he's free along the sideline again. Dragged down from behind, preventing a possible second 90-yard touchdown return of the day. Willie Williams made the emergency stop for Pittsburgh. It's a 45-yard return for Andre Coleman.
And that is an absolutely huge tackle, Jim. Take a look now when he cuts to the left. Gary Anderson is all that's left. Number 27, Willie Williams, is going to be flying in right there, right at the last, because watch, he's got a blocker ahead. If he doesn't make the tackle there, Coleman cuts completely across the field and makes the play. Look at the hustle by number 27. Big play by Williams.
So Williams effectively policing it for the Steelers and preventing the TD. Humphries, or check it, Gilbert, wanting to capitalize right away, overthrows Tony Martin.
And there's the timing factor right there, Jim. They had what they wanted in the hook and go route. They had Martin wide open. Gilbert threw it a little bit too soon and threw it way over his head.
Humphries went out 2 series ago with the injured thumb after banging it against the helmet of offensive guard Eric Johnson. X-rays indicate no fracture, but Humphries not looking as though he's going to be coming back into the game. Double tight ends on 2nd down 10 for San Diego. Gilbert throws in the flat, and it's almost picked off for a touchdown by Dion Figures.
Needless to say that the timing between Gilbert and the receivers is just not the same. Figures looking right at his eyes because Gilbert never looks anywhere but right at the receiver, and that's one that he should have gone the distance with. And I look for Dom Capers here with the quarterback who's not played much during this season. Look for him to blitz and take advantage of the inexperience.
Gilbert 1 of 3 for -1 since entering the game in place of Humphries. 3rd down 10 now. Tony Martin overthrown. Flag goes down, though, as Gilbert goes down.
Boy, that's really foolish. Really foolish.
A free 1st down for the Chargers.
Gail Gilbert's throwing the ball all over the stadium. You can see him screaming, Chad, Chad, what are you doing? You see, if you could read Bill Cowher's lips.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, a blow to the head, 15 yards, 1st down.
Just as you were talking about mistake-free football here in this series, we see a bunch of mistakes, Jim. First, the drop interception, Gilbert throwing the ball all over the park, and then on 3rd and 10, a ball not even close, and Chad Brown with a big penalty.
The second-year linebacker out of Colorado is coming fast as one of the best in the league, and here's a mistake.
Right at the end of the play, he should have pulled his hand off, but the hand up by the face mask, that's what the official sees, and he calls it.
So it gives Gilbert some new life. Gilbert gives to Natron Means, and Means is hit immediately by number 97 Ray Seals and Brown, number 94. Means 17 carries, 47 yards. He had some moments of glory in the first drive of the second half that led to a 2-yard Natron touchdown run, but bottled up for most of the day by a Steeler defense largely populated by reserves.
And clearly now, Stan Brock, their offensive tackle, clearly now you know with 5:30 and the clock running, the onus of the offense falls on the shoulders of Gail Gilbert. Thus far, he hasn't been able to come through.
Gilbert's throw intended for Say, incomplete. McKyer was there, and Gale was just a little late with that delivery.
Again, it's a matter of rhythm. Here's a situation where the guy just is not in sync. He does not get the same repetitions as the starting quarterback during the week of practice. He comes in ice cold, and as a result, he struggles.
There are the numbers on Gilbert. 3rd down, 10 to go. Football at the 29-yard line. Ronnie Harmon and 3 wide receivers on the field as the Chargers go to their 3rd down set. Steelers playing without Greg Lloyd, without Rod Woodson. Gilbert completes to Say, and Say's going to need to work for the 1st down. He gets it to the 20.
He doesn't get it, but they're going to have to go for it, and here's why. I don't think they have enough time, and with the reserve quarterback in, I just don't think they really think they can score twice here with a field goal and a touchdown. I think here they have to go for it.
So it'll be 4th down and a yard for Bobby Ross and the Chargers. Natron Means comes back onto the field. Along
Number
with
72 has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 72.
The tackle will be lined up at tight end.
Biggest play of the game right here, Jim.
Short yardage set. They need a full yard. And they've got it. And more. Natron. Touchdown. The biggest run of the year for 22-year-old Natron Means. Flags down. Possible penalty here upcoming against the Steelers for unsportsmanlike conduct, but nothing will bring back the clutch touchdown run by Natron.
Well, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. It looked like Chad Brown had spiked his helmet, and certainly he had a lot to be frustrated over. He's the reason why this drive continues.
We have unsportsmanlike on the 94 of the defense throwing his helmet. The touchdown is good. We will penalize 15 yards on the kickoff.
Now, Jim, in case you're wondering at home why they're not going for 2 here, a tie by this team possibly could get them where they want to go. Plus the fact that with 4:32 left in the game, I think that Bobby Ross feels like maybe they still got a chance to get him for the field goal. But this might be risky simply because of the fact, Jim, the defense for the Chargers has been playing so poorly.
A tie would likely get them to bye in the first round of the playoffs. Carney nails the point. We're even at 34 with a lot more football yet to be played. Natron on 4th and 1.
Right side of the offensive line just blows people out, but look at the stiff arm. He puts one guy to the ground. Darren Perry just doesn't have a chance with Natron Means. What a powerful stiff arm running through 2 guys, and is he excited or what? And here's the big play that set it up. Watch the right hand go right to the face. Right to the face and the head. That's what Dick Hantak saw. That's why he dropped the flag. That's why the drive continued, and that's probably the unhappiest man in the stadium right now, Chad Brown.
And Bill Cowher stops to talk with Brown. Important business as the playoffs loom ahead. For the Steelers, 12-3, best record in the AFC, home field advantage. And you talked Todd Christensen about how Cowher looks the players in the eye.
And that's exactly what he's doing. And Chad Brown, in a lot of cases, doesn't want any part of it. He keeps looking apart, and he put his hands up and he said, listen, Coach, I was just trying to be aggressive. I didn't come down on him honestly. Look at the hands coming up. But Bill Cowher, doing it in soft tones, puts his arms to the side and said, look, you're a great player. This is something you're going to learn from. We need you in the playoffs. You're our
94.
leading tackler. You can't afford the luxury of taking this too personally. And besides that, we've still got 4 minutes and 32 seconds left, and we've got the hottest quarterback right now.
And you were looking there at a young head coach who is already a very good NFL coach and who may someday be a great one.
Well, he's on the verge right now. He's somebody I could play for, I'll tell you that.
So the 15-yard penalty is marked off now against the Steelers, meaning Carney will kick from the 45. The very dangerous Charles Johnson waits at the goal line for a kick that may sail over his head.
Makes for an interesting decision here, Jim, because standard thinking is, well, just kick it out of the end zone, but because you have the added yards, you might want to hit a pop-up and force him inside the 20, and that's what he does.
Johnson at the 4. And they knock him down at the 15, using exactly the strategy you suggested, Todd. Stanley Richard and Eric Castle down there together to make the stop.
Not only that, but then you get a little bit of momentum. Your special teams create a problem. The defense comes on the field. Now the crowd's back in the game.
Mike Tomczak comes onto the field on what has been, in terms of efficiency, a career day.
He has been absolutely outstanding, and the Chargers now absolutely have to stop him. They have not done it at all. They have to prevent the Steelers from getting into scoring territory.
Steelers playing for pride and momentum. Chargers playing to try to avoid having to go on the road and play 3 weeks in the playoffs. McAfee on first down. Flags down as McAfee gets a gain of 8. Out to the 23.
It's a bad time for a holding call. John Jackson comes over and he's begging with Dick Hantak.
Offense, number 65.
One thing you notice about Bill Cowher, he's animated at key times. He's never animated when it doesn't matter. Watch the bottom of your screen, number 65. Look at right there. He grabs. Oh, man. What's Jackson complaining about? That was an absolute tackle. Both officials saw it.
San Diego Chargers general manager Bobby Beathard, the man who, along with Ross, has constructed the franchise that has won its division 2 of the past 3 years. And if you know somebody who picked the Chargers to win the AFC West before this season began, I'd like to meet him.
Interesting point, too, with regards to Bobby Beathard. There are only 2 guys on the team now, Jim. Leslie O'Neal and Courtney Hall that still remain from the pre-Beathard area. That says a lot about how he has restructured this organization.
Half the distance penalty takes him to the 7.5. On first down, McAfee again. Crowd rising now with the Charger defense.
We talked about Junior Seau earlier missing a tackle that set up the score. This time, he was wary to the draw play, right on top of it.
Gain of about 1.5 yards. Make it second down, 17 to go with the football at the 8.
What a great opportunity here for Bill Cowher's young players. Not just the fact that they're in a close game to get to play against a great team like the Chargers. They're getting some very much needed experience.
Tomczak's pass is complete. Charles Johnson with another catch. Darren Carrington on the stop.
Jim, that's the exact same play that they ran for the 83-yard touchdown. Take a look at the slant route. Johnson, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, cuts across. Darren Gordon this time gets help from his secondary. Big tackle on the part of Carrington, setting up now 3rd and 5.
Steelers have been remarkable on 3rd down today. 8 of 14. They need 5 for the first down. Flags down. And some of the Steeler offensive linemen backed away too quickly. Let's see if a San Diego defender was in the neutral zone.
The center fooled him. Dermontti Dawson rocked his head, and I think the officials are right on top of it. If it's not Dawson, then it's Searcy, but I think it was Dawson.
False start, offense on number 69. Move the ball without snapping it.
Watch the middle, watch the center. That's exactly what happened. I'm sorry, it was not Dermontti Dawson. Ariel Solomon has taken his place, and with the bob, he tried to incite the offside. Good job by the officials being on top of it.
Ariel Solomon, fourth-year player out of Colorado. Yet another Buffalo. There's DeMonte Dawson, the Pro Bowl center, on the sideline.
Jim, regardless of the outcome of the game, I can't say enough what an opportunity it is for these young players. It bodes so well for the future of the franchise. Putting these people in these crucial situations where a lot of times the only time they get time like this is in the preseason.
How about the tightrope that Cowher walked today? I'm going to rest a lot of my key players, but I'm still challenging my team to win the game.
They've certainly risen to the challenge.
Tomczak under 12. Yancey Thigpen, the intended receiver, and Harper was there to make the play.
Harper was there to make the play. Almost went with the pick, but it's Chris Mims who once again is in the face of Tomczak. Tomczak limping off. He's paid a price for his good day. He's been getting beaten up.
Mark Royals comes on to kick. Darren Gordon deep to receive for San Diego. Gordon is waiting at his 43-yard line. Opportunity here. Remember, he's the AFC leader in punt returns.
Low kick, too. He's got some room.
Plenty of chance for Gordon here. He starts at the 40. Across midfield and into Steeler territory at the 48-yard line.
And look who makes the tackle. Number 94, Chad Brown. Amazing. We talked about his versatility. Incredible. All over the field. Take a look at number 94. Chris Mims is going to come in. Put the hit right there on Tomczak. Lands on the right knee right on top of him. There's that big body right between his... Oh, man. I tell you what.
46-yard punt for Royals. 12 yards returned. Another look at Mims. What a day he's had.
He really has. He's been given seriously problems all day long.
We came to watch Leslie O'Neal against Kevin Green, and Chris Mims has given us a pass-rushing show. Gail Gilbert looking for the victory which would give the Chargers a bye in the playoffs. Natron Means on first down, fighting for a couple.
Now, interesting here, Gail Gilbert can let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning, and I think maybe that's what Bobby Ross wants to do. You see Gilbert now is coming over to the sidelines. He's just going to let it run down. He doesn't want to give Pittsburgh any opportunity. Bobby Ross feels confident enough that he can get it the 15 more yards it would require for Carney to hit a field goal.
The Chargers are thinking in terms of the 34th field goal of the year for their Pro Bowl-bound kicker, John Carney. The pressure is on the shoulders of backup QB Gail Gilbert to get them the 2 more first downs they would appear to need to get into position for that game-winning field goal try. Jim Lampley along with Todd Christensen in San Diego. We welcome those of you who have watched Houston's win over the Jets. We've got a spectacular football game here. 2 minutes to go. And tied up at 34 apiece are the Steelers, already home free for the home field advantage in the AFC playoffs, and the Chargers, who have won their division but need to win here to get a bye and a possible home game in the playoffs. This was the key play that set up the game-tying extra point.
Short yardage. Natron Means busts out. Look at the power in the stiff arm as he puts 2 guys down en route to the tying touchdown. Now for those of you that just joined us, Stan Humphries sprained his thumb, and now Gail Gilbert is at the helm for the Chargers.
Second down, 7. Gilbert with Natron Means behind him. Throws complete to Mark Say, and Say is inside the 30 to the 29. Tim McKyer makes the stop. Chargers trying to get in position for the field goal, which could give them a bye in the playoffs.
And Bobby Ross and Ralph Ferregan had a lot of time to go over this very play. They've got Say on the swirl route. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted the quarterback to throw a conservative pass, catch the Steelers in the coverage that they wanted. That's exactly what happened. Now they're in field goal range, although I think that they need to get just a little closer to guarantee the make, Jim.
6th catch in the game for Mark Say. Chargers on first down go with Means. His 20th carry inside the 25 to the 22 before Kirkland makes the stop. Another heavy day of work for the second-year running back out of North Carolina.
We're talking about how well the offensive line of the Steelers had been blocking. Give credit now to the Chargers. Late in the game, the big body tower taking its toll on the front 7 of the Steelers.
And now the Steelers use a timeout. to stop the clock with 1:09 remaining. Bill Cowher trying to preserve for his team one last chance with the football.
And even though Natron Means more than likely is not going to go over 100 yards, he's got to feel good about himself because when it's been crunch time, he has come up big for the Chargers.
20 carries for 79 yards, 2 touchdowns in the game for Means, including the one you saw, which came on 4th down and a yard, do or die for the Chargers, and he wouldn't be denied.
And he's somebody that afterwards, I'm sure if he pulls his critics aside, is going to say, yeah, does that look like fatigue to you? No.
So with Humphries out with the bad thumb for the moment, Yale Gilbert, the cast-off from Buffalo, in his 9th year in the league, tries to do the work that could get the Chargers a bye. And the Steelers, what a day they've had, playing without Rod Woodson, without Greg Lloyd, without John L. Williams, without a host of important players. They have gotten spectacular performances from a lot of lesser names, most notably backup quarterback Mike Tomczak, who's had 2 TD passes, including an 83-yarder to Charles Johnson.
Most coaches will say there's nothing good can come from a loss, but there's just no way the Steelers can feel that under the assumption that Carney makes this kick.
Means has a first down for the Chargers inside the 20 to the 17. Jason Gilden on the stop for Pittsburgh.
And Harry Swain has to be smart, and I noticed that Stan Brock is the one who rushes into the middle and gets him up. Number 67, the man that we talked about earlier, who very much wants that ring. He understands the magnitude of this. This is absolutely the wrong time to get a 15-yard penalty. The 15-year veteran pulls Harry Swain away before there are any problems.
15-year veteran Stan Brock said to us yesterday, I'm not sure my team can survive 3 weeks in the playoffs, but with 2 weeks, we've got a chance. Means again. Moving toward the right hash. Brenson Buckner on the stop for Pittsburgh. John Carney has 2 field goals already today. Pittsburgh with another timeout.
That actually benefits the Chargers here, Jim, and let me tell you why. As we take a look at the injury first, watch the hand. It's going to hit the back of the helmet of Jonathan, his own man. Now it looks like all of a sudden it's a delayed reaction, kind of a sprain, and now he's in some serious pain. He went in to get it x-rayed. There he is right there.
That happened earlier in the 4th quarter.
Still very much involved in the game, as you can tell. Chatting with Gilbert, you see Means now limping off the field. The Chargers are giving their all. They desperately want that week off, Jim.
Well, there wasn't a Charger player who would say to us, yeah, we'd be just as well off playing with 3 weeks in the playoffs and no bye, no possible home field game. Every one of their players said, we'll be honest with ourselves, we got to win this game.
Now here's the issue. One of the things that Gilbert went over to chat about is that he needs to know what hash mark John Carney wants for this kick.
22 seconds to go in Jack Murphy Stadium. Pittsburgh and the Chargers tied up at 34. Couple of division champions playing a spectacular game to end the regular season. Bobby Ross's Chargers with Gail Gilbert at the helm, positioning now for the John Carney field goal try, which they hope will win the game for them and give them a bye week in the playoffs.
And notice that he didn't hand the ball off to Eric Bieniemy. Jim, I played in a game, Raiders versus Broncos, similar situation on the 6-yard line. He handed to Frank Hawkins, who hadn't carried the ball much. He fumbled. Took no chances with Bieniemy because he's cold. They wait down to the 5 seconds. They have the leading scorer in the National Football League now here to come in with a 32-yard field goal. They're set.
He's got 33 field goals on the season in 37 tries. He has not missed from inside 40 all year. He's headed to the Pro Bowl, make or miss. Now John Carney will kick the most important field goal try of his career out of Gilbert's hold off of David Ben's snap.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, because this is a team, as we discussed, Jim, the San Diego Chargers are a quality football team. Can they win 3 games in the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. But can they win 2? Possibly, especially if one of them's at home, which it would be. Now, on the flip side of the ledger here, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to be saying to themselves, from a confidence standpoint, hey, even if he does make the kick, how good a game did we play without all those star players? Strangely enough, Jim, this is one of those situations if Carney's kick goes through, both teams walk away with a positive.
Steelers with a 7-game win streak on the line. They've played without Pro Bowlers Woodson and Greg Lloyd, stars Eric Green and John L. Williams. Bobby Beathard watching from the sideline. It's been a long, hard road for Beathard and Bobby Ross as they've rebuilt the Charger franchise. Now 2 division championships in 3 years, and with this, a chance to create for themselves a bye week in the playoffs. Desperately needed for this team, which is struggling with injuries. Flag down. Flag on the field.
Trying so hard to draw the other team offsides, instead it appears that the Steelers were offside.
3 seconds remain on the clock.
Defense, number 99 and 27, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalty is declined. Field goal is good.
Chargers must negotiate a kickoff and avoid a touchdown return to finish the season 11-5.
John Carney looks like he's the calmest guy in the stadium, as if to say, well, of course, that's what I do. I'm supposed to do that.
34-yard drive, 7 plays. It took 2 minutes, 36 seconds. Gail Gilbert handling the football safely in the drive and hitting the big pass to Mark Say that brought them inside the 30 and gave them the field position to go for the field goal.
Also, don't forget, he was the one who was the holder there. He was the one that came up with a catch and put it down for Carney for the game winner.
And with all of the big plays that have been made in this game, Todd, through bits and pieces, and especially one 20-yard run, Natrone Means has emerged again as the heart and soul of the Charger franchise.
Absolutely, and one other point to be made as we look at Bobby Beathard and a very unhappy Chad Brown is that, as you mentioned at the top of the telecast, there could be a reprise to this game. We might see this one right here in the AFC Championship.
Well, if you saw this game for a conference championship or a league championship, you wouldn't say you didn't get your money's worth. This has been a spectacular show.
Well, whether it was a conference championship game, regardless, I dare say that there's nobody in this park that wants their money back, Jim.
The joint has been rocking all day. There's Pro Bowl guard Duval Love, Neil O'Donnell, who played only part of the game, but was more than adequately relieved by Mike Tomczak. Gail Gilbert, who stands to be one of the heroes for the Chargers. Junior Seau, who has labored through the entire game, again with the pinched nerve bothering him and occasionally making his left arm useless. Sean Lee, brilliant year at defensive tackle, along with Reuben Davis next to him. So many heroes on both teams.
What a great football game. Just a great football game. And I don't know if this is the happiest man in the stadium, but it's darn close. 15-year veteran who served most of his tenure in the National Football League with the New Orleans Saints.
Football in the air. Chargers have it off of a Steeler. Clock runs out. And in a do-or-die situation, the Chargers are able to do it.
There he is. What a happy man. And Bill Cowher actually is a pretty happy man, too. He doesn't look too sad.
Stan Brock said to you yesterday, Todd, I've only had 2 chances to even be in the playoffs.
How excited
I don't want to
must
miss
he
any
be.
of it.
What a thrill it is for him. Now he knows the possibility. The possibilities are, I'm 2 games away from the possibility of wearing that very precious jewelry that my buddy Ken Stabler showed to me.
Both these teams will take next weekend off. And John Carney's field goal has won.